Well, look at this, top of the hour, and we got 50 people in already. I think that's a good showing. What do you guys think?
Yep.
There's Al coming back in again. So with that, good seeing a lot of familiar faces. Missed y'all for the last few weeks.
Well, we're
Hopefully, I
glad you're
will
back.
be. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully, I will not have any more surgeries that are going to take me out of commission like this. So, take it one day at a time and go from there. But it's definitely nice to be back and see all the smiling heads here on the wonderful worldwide of wood turners here in our weekly Zoom meetings. Um, been watching the programs back. You guys have been doing, y'all have been killing it. Maintaining and elevating. It's nice to see things carry on even when you're sideways from it. So, beyond that, I guess we can get into a little bit of gallery. Got a nice demonstration on tap for later in the program. We got Mr. Kurt Kapp. He's going to be doing I believe he's going to be doing some type of a square bowl or square edged bowl. I can't remember now. Um, but with that, Matt, let's go ahead and roll into the gallery we got for the folks that are here, and then for those that do have something to show and they haven't put anything down in the chat, um, all you got to do is put your name, say something in the chat, and say, "I got something I want to show," because we all want to see it, because we all get inspired, no matter what the project is, and it's your art. We got a no butt guarantee. Nobody's ever going to send any type of negative criticism to you. That's a guarantee in this group. Myself and everybody else will not allow that to happen. So with that, Matt, let's go ahead and kick it off. And then if you're new, let us know in the chat that you're new. And I'd like to come back and chat with you for a couple minutes in between some of the gallery options and see how you found out about us and where your wood turning journey has started and where you've come to and where you expect to go. Matt, go ahead, take us away.
And if your name isn't showing on your ID, edit that and add your name and where you're from, please.
Right. And if you don't know how to do it, make a comment in the chat saying what your name is, and I will go in and rename you.
Okay. All right. Well, first up in gallery tonight is Dewey.
Hey, how's everyone? Okay, Billy.
Good, Billy.
Remember last week I was telling we was experimenting with UV resin.
Yes.
And made these. I carved out some of the spalting in this piece, and I filled it in with resin and hit it with UV, and it was real elevated. And you said, "Well, why don't you try to sand that off?" So I did sand it off per your request, but the problem was this stuff's so dark that the UV light didn't get down into the bottom of it. Whenever I started sanding it off, I ran into some stuff that hadn't set up yet.
Oh,
I had the same problem this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
So UV, if you use UV resin, it can't be opaque. It's got to be at least translucent so that UV light can get all the way through it.
Yep, that's right.
sorry, Dewey.
All righty. Now, I started another one,
Ooh.
and it's a cedar. And,
Yeah, it's pretty.
And so we'll get it all fixed up and show it to you in September. So,
Wow.
Oh, that
You haul that from London?
huh? So anyway,
Is that one
that's
gonna
gonna
have
be-
a flip top like the other one did?
I'm sorry.
Is that one gonna have a flip top like on a hinge like your other one did?
Yes, it's going to have a handle in the spout, and it's going to have a thing up here.
Oh,
and
wow.
When you rub on it, does Jeannie pop out?
Oh, no. No.
That's it.
No genie, just liquor. Okay.
That was good.
Of course, you drink enough of that liquor, you might think you might need to see a genie, you know?
You're gonna see.
But anyway, so I got one last thing here, something I've been working on and fretting on for quite a while, but I decided I'll go ahead.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
Well, that's got some color.
Very cool. Very
That-
Wow.
You call
Very good, Dewey.
This was going to be a tall vase,
that
but
out.
around here it was so thin it wouldn't support anything that was carved, so I had to make it a shorty. But it's
Design
That's a creative
opportunity.
idea. That's a heck of an idea.
but anyway,
Very cool.
That Oriole looks great.
Really cool.
so anyway, I'm glad I got this thing done. I'm tired of working on it. So anyway,
Oriole or
Love
a
it.
red-winged blackbird?
Cool.
Oh, show us the bottom.
Oh, that's
Wow.
cool.
Nice.
All right.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so what did you do for the bottom there? Is that engraved?
yes, that's
Your
laser.
laser?
That's laser.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got a coat of semi-gloss lacquer on it, and
What's the paint is the color?
it's acrylic.
Oh, it's
I used an airbrush to put the green all the way around here, and then everything else was done by hand. So
very-
anyway,
Beautiful.
it's
Beautiful.
bright in color, that's for sure. So
Does something
sure-
go in the
I'm sure.
center of a vase or something?
what's that? I'm sorry.
Does something go in the center? The center looks like it's recessed for a vase or something.
No, that was just from the Forstner bit,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and you can tell he's got that little dimple in the middle.
Yeah.
So I should have put something in there to cover that up, but I didn't. I was so tired
still-
of working with this thing, I just wanted to get it finished.
I thought you had a planter or something going in the middle.
Yeah,
You can put a tea light in it,
I could put a candle in there, I guess.
or yeah, a candle.
Put a candle in there and see how that worked out. But
Or you could put a black post and put a tea light on top of it in the middle of the grass.
this has multiple possibilities.
There you go. There you
It
go.
really does. No, it really does.
Yeah.
Did a
so,
good job on the cattail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a whole bunch of them up here, but like I said, the wood's so thin it wouldn't support them. It just
Wow.
and
Oh,
so
that's-
Well, it's very cool. It looks like it was a labor of love.
well, it was a
Love
labor.
the red,
that's for
the
sure.
red.
It
I
was
can't
a
say I
labor.
loved it, but it was a labor.
I don't know about love.
All right.
Okay, well, that's a beautiful idea.
What's that?
That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah. Now, I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. I'm glad I did it, and I'm not going to do it again.
And that was all
I know
one
how
piece.
those go.
Yeah.
That was all one piece.
Yes.
Yes, isn't that crazy?
Except for the bird. Now the bird is glued on. The bird and this are glued on because the bird was up here, but I couldn't. Like I said, it would support it. So I took the bird off and then did the relief carving on it and glued it on here because I had this
Cool.
big whole gap here anyway. So it filled the gap.
Cool.
Looks great.
It
Okay.
is.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
Looks wonderful, Dewey.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thanks. Thank you, Dewey. Next
Really?
up is Al. What you got, Al?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I do want to apologize about last week, and now we're breaking things down. I think maybe it might be these earbuds. Where the hell's it at? I turned
It's
them on.
not. It's your internet connection, Al. You're too far from your router.
Well, here's the story. Here's the story. I just saw it. I'm skipping right now. This is a new phone. All you guys know that as long as I've been on here, I'm here on a cell phone. And I about 3.5 weeks or so ago, I got this phone here. My other phone, the battery just kept going down quickly, the battery and stuff. So I got another phone. And here, after when I was done last week, I ran into the house. I said, because my wife, I said, Denise, how was it? She goes, I couldn't understand what the heck was going on, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that was it right there. And oh, you're not going. You kept saying, oh, everything's fine. I'll keep going. Everything's fine. I'll keep going. I said, okay. But I saw the rerun and it wasn't that fine. So she did reboot. Are you able to hear everything I'm saying? So nothing's broken up so far.
Everything's
You're
great.
fine.
I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, I would like to put this phone over and replay everything I did last week and turn the two motors on and just see, because I'm trying
Sure.
to break what happened. And if I could figure it out, I want to let people know in the future. Can I have a minute or two?
Yeah, go ahead. Bring the phone over there and see if it's interference from the electrical on that side.
Right. That's what I wanted to. Let's see. I had this up here. I had
Now
another
your-
light on.
Your bandwidth just decreased when you moved over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
He
And
needs,
all
a,
I did,
he needs a mesh system.
All right, you're good. So go ahead, turn your lave on.
no, I want to put the light on just the way it was, and I want to turn the lathe on, and
Thing
I
at a
want to
time.
turn
One
the,
thing at
and
a
I want to
time.
turn the what?
Yep, one thing at a time, one variable.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to deal with. Okay, let me turn it. Power here on. Here's nothing on here. Make sure we have no problems. Okay. So you can
Good.
still
All
hear me
good.
and everything. Just you can see every rotation. No,
Yeah.
no breakage, no nothing. Now let me
Yep.
turn
Yep.
that back on. Okay, now there's still nothing, right? You can still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, you're good.
You know what? I'm gonna go get those earplugs. Well, yeah, no, wasting your time.
All right, go ahead. Poor Al.
Yeah, that was time last week.
Turn them on.
I'm guessing
I'm just gonna turn them on.
if his wife was watching, that will reduce his bandwidth, and that might have been the problem.
What I just put the one in, Billy, and I just heard a little bit. What'd you say?
I said, if your wife was watching using the Wi-Fi in the house,
Yeah.
that would reduce your bandwidth, and that might be what caused the problem.
I mean, I don't know. But well, see again, when I did the first time, she was inside watching it, and I don't think I had that kind of problem. Now, as of we're
Is she
talking
online
right
now?
no, she's not. No,
Okay,
that's the only thing that would be different. But you can see my rotation. You can see my head with no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem at all.
I don't want to waste your time. Should if later on before we go to the demo, do you want me to have her have it on for a few minutes and do this again?
No.
If
We
Let's
could
do
do
it
this
after the
offline.
demo.
Yeah, do it after the
yeah,
demo.
Do it after the demo.
that would be better. But I think everything's just fine right now. I was
Yeah.
having the time of my life last week.
Also, this is
There are
Zoom,
lots
you
of
know?
things that are variations. I mean, if
Hell
more
yeah.
people in your neighborhood are using their Wi-Fi, if your
Right.
wife is online, I know that my wife can't use her Wi-Fi on her iPad while I'm doing this. If she does, I suddenly start breaking up. Or I'll rephrase that. You guys start breaking up because my Wi-Fi goes down enough that I'll start recording strangely.
maybe
So
that-
she and I agree. She isn't online on Wednesday evenings. So there are different things that can affect it, whether it's your wife or other people in the neighborhood, they're using bandwidth. All sorts of things affect you.
Yeah,
Right.
and if there's a way, if there's a way to do a wired connection, that's a lot more stable than Wi-Fi is.
Yeah, if you have a wired connection, you get like 10 to 20 times faster. So
Yeah, it's a much
That's
bigger
great.
pipe.
You're
Yeah.
talking German to me. I don't know what wired
A
connection.
wired
is.
connection means an Ethernet cable running from your router to the device you're broadcasting on.
which
Oh,
you
no,
can't
that's
do
in
with
the
the
house.
phone.
I'm out of the shop. No,
Right,
I don't have one.
Right. The distance, and if the distance, and if there's the distance from the router, and if there's metal like a duct between you and the router, those or a refrigerator, those affect bandwidth also.
Exactly. If you have walls, you can even find out that if your router is low in the room and you're 2 rooms away, it affects it. But if you
We're
put
two-
it
we're
high
two
up on a
rooms-
shelf, it
we're-
might
we're
work
2
better.
rooms away.
It all depends on what's between you and the router.
He's
Okay.
still freezing right now.
Everything's fine right now, right?
No, you're going in and out with the bandwidth.
I
bandwidth
just
is
heard,
very-
I'm shutting these off, and I think this also has something to do.
Well, those
Anyway,
don't use,
let me
Ow.
tell you my ridiculous thing.
your earbuds don't use the same resources.
Now I
No,
So
can't
it's
even
not
hear.
the, it's not the
beer.
earbuds.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for wasting your guys' times.
No,
That's
you're
not
not.
wasted.
Hey, that's what we do
I mean,
here.
when I saw that rerun, I almost cried.
No, we problem solve and
It
figure
wasn't
things
your
out.
fault. It's,
Where the
it's,
hell was that?
So you got some wood turning to show us, Al?
Yeah, let's see that.
Okay. You know what? As soon as I closed the lid of that charger of those earbuds, whatever, now I could hear you. Now,
Your bandwidth is still going in and out from where we see it, Al.
really,
So like you're going white to yellow occasionally. So
guys, I am so sorry wasting your time.
it's
on
okay.
this.
It's okay. It's
No, no,
it's
you're
all right,
just
Al.
good time.
I am.
There's also a
Let's go
volume
on.
control that you can turn the volume up on those earbuds.
Yeah, and they're up, but I think that I get more distortion when I have them on. But again, I don't know. Now, when I was at the lathe, was there any distortion?
No.
No.
No,
don't
but you're
understand
still cutting in and out, Al.
Was
Yeah,
I?
there's
All right,
distortion
so-
right now and you don't have it on. So
Yeah.
it isn't necessarily
Your
the
internet connection.
So I guess.
So
no, we're going-
so Al, do you have some wood turning to show us?
yes, of course. Yeah.
We'd
Go
love to
for
see
it.
that.
Yeah, we'd love to see
I
that.
wanna see
Everybody
the great
raise their
work.
right hand. Everybody raise their right hand again. This is a goofy segmented piece that my grandson and I put together.
Oh my
as a-
gosh.
Oh, wow.
that's
Look at
cool.
that.
That's great.
Love it.
We got a balloon and we blew it up, and I got 3 or 4 branches, as you can see, different sizes, and I made them round. I just drilled through them and I cut them off at sections, and we used hot glue, and him and I glued them on the balloon. He got a kick out of it. I
bet
think
he's
I
having
like
fun.
working on wood.
That's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
idea.
That's
Good
a lot of
project.
glue there, Al.
I think
did a
maybe
nice job.
a stick and a half, maybe.
And you didn't
But-
glue your fingers together.
I'm not gonna say no, I didn't.
Or burn. Did you burn yourself? Did Junior burn
No.
himself?
Everything was fine. I just had a blast doing this.
Good.
That's good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Okay,
Very
I'm
nice.
sorry. Like I said, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this because I want to, and everybody be good.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
Be good.
Al.
Have a good night.
Yeah, we'll get
All
it.
right, thanks,
We'll
Al.
figure it
Yeah,
out.
we'll figure it out.
Thank you. Thank you guys too.
Okay. Roger's got something. What you got, Roger?
Roger.
All right, I got
Still bucking.
a pair of bowls.
Single segment.
Yeah,
Yep.
I poured this out of this. And
Nice.
the grain in this one looks so deep, and these look good. And this bowl is the other half.
Oh,
I
wow.
love it.
And it,
Wow.
the grain,
Totally different.
Oh,
Yeah.
Completely
Looks
different.
great.
Beautiful.
Pretty
though.
walnut.
and now I'm working on this.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
oh my goodness. How tall
Is
is
that
that,
box
Roger?
elder?
No, I don't know.
Is that maple?
14 or 13 inches tall.
That's a nice piece.
The spalted maple?
Yeah, it's a soft maple.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, I like,
My goodness,
Sure.
how'd you?
But now what my problem is finishing hollowing it.
How far
I
are you
need-
right now?
I need Scott's flat tool rest for support
Yep.
down inside. I'm down to about here where I need to be thickness wise, but this down here, it's too far off my tool
Too
rest.
much overhang,
I have no control.
right?
Need
Or
to
you
get-
know how to make a tool rest.
Or get a bigger
I
bar.
know, I just need the
Yeah,
steel.
bigger bar. Yeah. Get a 3/4 or a 1-inch bar.
Yeah.
If you use a square bar, you won't have the vibration effect.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good, because I just bought square bar to make a hollowing tool.
Yeah. Yeah, use one inch square bar and I've gone down almost 30 inches with it.
Wow.
Wow.
How
Isn't
much
Cool.
overhang,
Now
Mark?
this is,
Well, listen, I
Oh.
I also put the tool rest down inside. You guys, I've showed you that before. I put the tool rest, over a foot, 13 inches down inside so that it's supported.
Right,
yeah,
that's
that's
but
the
that's
problem.
what
My
Roger's
tool
saying. He
rest I
doesn't have
can't put
a.
inside.
What?
My tool rest I can't put inside that vase.
Oh, but you can make one.
That's what I need to do. That's why I
Yeah.
said I need the one that, like Scott made.
The flat piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Same thing
But
that,
now this is the same as what that vase is. Came off the same tree.
That was
Completely
nice.
I
different.
love that texture. The
Those are very
color.
pretty. Very
Yeah.
pretty, Roger.
very.
Thank you.
Hey, Dane,
Yeah,
we need to set some time across one night to have a discussion on cutters, on hollowing cutters.
yeah, for sure.
You want to manage that, Roger, as a demo?
What's that?
But that was
You
Dewey
want to
asking that.
manage that as a
No,
as a
I
demo?
need, I'm looking for information. I'm not,
Okay.
I'm looking for what everybody likes as their favorite cutter whenever they're doing hollowing.
Little Hogger is my favorite cutter.
Yeah, we can do
Amazing
that, Dewey.
carbide.
I like sharp ones.
See, everybody's
There
got
you go.
different,
I like my
everybody's got
100
their
Pro.
different favorites, and
Yep.
I just need to sit some time and we really talk about it and look at it, one night,
Right.
just so I can get all the information that I can get to decide how I want to go, because I've tried different cutters. I don't know which is good. Some's good, some I've tried not so good. So far, I haven't found the perfect one. And that's what I want. I want to find a perfect one that's almost perfect. But
Did
anyway,
any of you guys see the video I put on the
Yes.
Facebook
I did.
of my hollowing?
Yes.
Now that camera works pretty decent. But it's, like I say, it's getting down the bottom portion. I don't have enough control.
Yeah, the support bounces on you.
Yep.
It really forces you to cut up between 9 and 10 o'clock, closer to the 10 o'clock position quadrant. Yeah.
And I tried scraper, I tried a straight cutter and a cone cutter, and doesn't matter.
Right.
That deep, I just have no control.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're going to be using. You got to have it supported that far off the toolbar.
Yep.
Yep. You'll get there.
I'm trying. Always before, when I
Alright.
done something deep, I went through the bottom and through the top. I didn't want to do that on this one.
I
Right.
understand.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
once you get
works though, doesn't it?
All right. Well,
Yeah,
thank
it
you
does
guys.
work, Pat.
All right, go to the next.
Next up is Dave. What you got, Dave?
Oh, something not cherry.
Hey, how about that? Piece of walnut.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I've spent hours and hours sanding this puppy. I'm still really not all that happy with it.
Is that like a bird mouth, Dave? Is that the way you turned it?
Well, I suppose you'd call it that. It's a pretty big bird.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, we do, Al. Yeah, it's the same idea, only
Yeah.
not
It's
a vase,
awesome.
it's a
Thing is-
bowl.
Thing is,
like it.
I see
Pretty.
these other guys mounting things sideways on the lathe. And I said, what the heck, I'll try it. And the bark was on so tight I didn't feel like cutting it down. But it's got umpteen hundred layers of oil on it.
Came out really nice.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah,
good.
that's very nice.
Looks
Thank
good,
you,
Dave.
thank you.
All right, thank you, Dave.
But this has been on the lathe for like 3 weeks. That's why I haven't been showing anything.
Oh, no worries.
One in a row.
You did it well. You did it well, and it's
One
it's
in a row.
odd, not being cherry.
Yep. And now
For
it's
not
off.
being
And,
cherry.
and now it's off, and you can do other things.
Now you can go back to your cherry.
Yeah, I've got literally a ton or so of it, so it's probably not a bad idea.
No, not at all. All right,
Very
thank
cool.
you, sir.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Dave. Next up is Patrick. What you got, Patrick?
Something
Okay,
awesome, I'll bet.
this is the little hollow form that I posted in the newsletter.
Oh, I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that. Looks great.
Yeah, very nice.
Hollowed out.
The bottom is ebonized with speedball
Hold it up.
black India ink.
Yeah.
Okay, the speedball again.
Yep.
Got to get me some.
Yeah, I
Where'd
gotta
you go?
get mine. I gotta find mine.
This is a piece of pear from the tree that I posted on the Facebook page.
That's pretty.
Ooh, pretty.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Nice, great.
Look at that
That's
grain.
pretty wood. Real pretty wood.
It turns like butter. I mean, it's fantastic to turn.
Really pretty.
And the bottom is a piece of walnut.
Dang.
Nice.
That grain is
And
crazy.
then
Yeah,
Right.
I love that grain.
and this is another piece of it.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Oh, man. I like
Nice.
hey, it's got some killer grain in it.
Dang.
And the whole tree is like it. I mean, from top to bottom,
Cool.
this is from a limb,
Oh, wow.
and it's been standing dead for about 2 years.
Wow.
So
Oh.
it's got some wild green in it. And that's
Oh,
the top.
cool.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Well done, Pat.
Huh. Dang.
Beautiful.
Did a little embellishing on it.
embellished.
Yeah.
Is that
Wow.
the Sorby?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, cool. Very nice, Patrick.
Love it.
That's it for me.
All right, well,
All
thank
right,
you.
thanks,
Next
Pat.
up, next up is Charlie. What you got, Charlie?
Well, I got several little things here. Another flower vase, red oak.
Ready?
It's got a glass insert glued into it so it'll hold water.
Yeah, I thought it did. I was waiting for it to slide out.
No, they're glued in.
Nice.
This is, I had my sister, I've been rebuilding her cabinets for her. This is the pieces glued together off the end pieces of board.
Okay.
That is pretty. That is pretty. I like that.
Nice shape.
That's pretty. Yes, absolutely.
Nice little pot.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a sugar bowl, candy bowl.
Right? M&M's.
And the last piece of my old popple that fell across the road.
That's pretty wood too. Very nice.
Yeah, and popple usually is just plain white and blah.
Right. Yeah, they got some really nice color in that.
This
Cool.
this laid in a puddle of water for years.
Oh, wow.
Note to self.
Oh,
Right?
so cute.
Very
nice.
cool.
Great job, Charlie. You did it justice.
Finally and last, a red oak bowl.
There you go.
Now, a lot of these black marks that are in it, where the knots and stuff are from screws and nails that were nailed into it.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
This sat on the lathe. I started it 3 weeks ago, maybe longer, and we went on a trip, gone for 2 weeks. I forgot I had this on the lathe. Came back, and it was split. But it doesn't go all the way through.
Now it's got a big smiley face.
Yeah, that's a smile if I ever saw one.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Nice.
Thank you, Charlie. Sue says she's got something to show. What you got, Sue?
Well,
Hey, she's out of the bedroom.
yeah, I'm back. I came out in the shop, you guys.
All
Hey.
right.
What do you think? There's a little tasty cup.
Oh, look at that. How pretty.
Oh, I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
wow.
The
I
Spectre ply.
oh yeah. And I grabbed a piece like this, figuring, well, that doesn't look too pretty. I'll just practice with it. And I noticed all the faults after I finished it yesterday. And I said, no, I'm going to see what I can do. And I resanded it down, put more 3408 on it. And then I used, I can't read it from here, but whatever it was, I used it with wax. And I still didn't like it. And so I shined it up. I buffed it up with Vonnex. And that's what it came out as. The cup itself is 1.5 millimeters thick.
How many shots will it hold?
Oh,
full shot?
probably a half of a shot.
Okay, so it's a double pumper.
Yeah, but you know, come on, it's a wine taster thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
But it came out pretty good, I thought.
It did.
Very
looks
pretty.
great.
Very
Very
nice.
pretty.
What kind of hardware is that? Is that Ruth Niles?
No, there was just a piece of cheap chrome stuff from Penn State. I do
Oh,
have
okay.
I do have Ruth Niles here. It's just that I think it would be too big for the Ruth Niles pieces that I have. So
Okay. Well done, girl.
It's very nice, Sue. Thank you.
you're
Next
welcome.
up is Victor. What you
Victor.
got, Victor?
Hey, good evening, y'all. Well, last week someone else, I can't remember who it was, showed some mushrooms and said, "I'm gonna hold off on mine." So I'm gonna show two of my mushrooms right now to start with. Both black walnut, both just for branches. This branch had all different kind of colors inside,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
and this one's a little over 7 inches tall. And I like leaving the bark on any and every
Yes.
mushroom I can.
Definitely
So
worked
that's
for
this
that.
one. And actually, this one has all the different colors. I like six mushrooms out of this one branch. Pretty long branch.
Yeah,
And
I
then
love
this one-
branches. I love branches. People chuck them out. They're perfect for mushrooms like that.
Oh yeah, all kinds of good little stuff. And this one is a different branch of walnut, and there's a piece of fuzz right there.
Kind of looks
This
like
one
a
is
toadstool.
all dark.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll give it a low cap, and this one is all dark. And all my mushrooms I undercut just a little bit. You know, it varies. Like this one's a little bit. This one's got a lot, steeper undercut in it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it adds a lot
There's
to
a
the
couple
mushroom.
examples of my mushrooms.
Yep.
And I did two more pieces. This is another piece of sourwood. It was supposed to be live edge all the way around. It didn't like that, so I had to modify it in process. So we've got a little bit of bark left on this side, and a little bit of bark left on this side, to at least show the gnarliness of the bark.
Cool.
And this is how she looks inside.
Nice.
I think all of us have had to do some modifications here and there.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I call them in-process design modifications.
Yeah, design
And last
opportunities.
is
Yep.
last thing I'm gonna show tonight is a walnut bowl with a little different design on it. It's
Oh.
black walnut with Mahoney's walnut oil on it.
Wow.
And so it's got the bark on this side, a little bit of bark here. And I need a brighter light. And the bigger chunk of bark
That's
right
nice.
there. So
Beautiful.
Very organic.
How
I
thick-
love it.
How thick
Yeah.
are your walls on that, Victor?
say again,
How thick are your walls on that?
I haven't measured them, but it
What's it feel like?
feels like it could be about right there. Feels like it could be about 3/8, but then it gets a little thicker. It's probably half an inch at the bottom.
Okay, right on. Yeah, it looks great.
But over here, with this, there's, you can't tell the wall thickness because you can't get your finger down there. But it down towards the base, it's probably about a half an inch. You can see a little bit of the grain right there,
Right.
It's beautiful.
and that's
Nice.
how I finished up the bottom.
Very nice.
I was actually able to get my brand to show up a little better on this one, and I have other stuff, but I'll save that for next week because I just finished them up today.
Right on.
Very
Cool.
nice.
All right.
I mean,
well, thanks very
unless
much,
you
Victor.
want me to show them real quick, I can. They're right here.
Well, if you got them there, why not? You may be out of time next week. You never know.
Yeah, true. Okay.
You got the
Well,
spotlight.
I cut a bunch of I dug into my wood pile the other day and got a bunch of salted maple out of there that I probably should have got out last year. This stuff was getting so close to being too far gone.
Wow. Yeah. That's great spalting.
So
Look
this
at
is
that.
Beautiful.
this is a little over a 10-inch salad bowl. Hey Joe, thanks.
Nice.
And then the core, I cored it out just a little bit. It's so spalted, I just did one core. So the core is this one little catch-all
Still beautiful bowl.
with a nice little spalting on it.
Good.
And of course, my little
Nice.
wing.
Beautiful.
There's the
I like
inside.
the OG shape.
You can really see the evolution in your foots that you make on your bowls from when you
Yep.
first started.
I-
What you're doing now, they look
I
really,
keep
really good.
experimenting with them,
Yeah.
trying different stuff. So
Yeah, I like the OG too.
Oh,
I'm
keep
with
it up.
Mark.
Yeah.
yeah, I only
Yeah,
been
very
at it 4.5
nice.
years, a little over 4.5 years. So I still got a lot to learn.
Oh, we all
Very
do.
nice. Very nice. All right. Well, thanks, Victor. Next up is
Next.
Billy. What you got, Billy?
Well, I've been playing with small pieces again. I'm trying to get stuff out of the way. So I found this piece of cedar. It's deck material. It's the same stuff that I used on my kitchen island that I built a few years ago. And the grain in it was just too pretty to burn or throw away. So I threw it on the
That's-
lathe.
That's amazingly huge, Billy. Wow.
And yeah. Oh, look how big it is. And turned a small dish. It's about 4 inches across. And while I was at it, I found this piece of mesquite
Oh.
laying there right beside it. Let me see if I can get
Oh,
you
hell
to
yeah.
see. Nope, you can't see the chatoyance. But it's got some chatoyance right in here
Yeah.
where that
I can
feathering
see
is.
I can
And
see the
it's-
feathering in it.
And it's really pretty. Just another
Wow.
little dish. This one's almost 5 inches.
Beautiful.
And I had a piece of box elder burl laying around that I needed to do something with. And this little piece of box elder was a chunk about that big. There was a bigger burl, but it was burly in different places. And I didn't want to throw this one away. So I cast it in some bronze resin and turned it.
Turned out good.
Looks
Turned out
great.
great.
It's pretty.
I
And
saw you a little
so I
short on
decided-
that last night.
Pardon?
I saw your short on that
Oh,
last
yeah.
night.
And to give you an idea about how big it is, this metal plate that I epoxied in the bottom of it is 2 inches. Well, I didn't want to make it into a bowl, and you saw there's a lip in here. So I turned it into a box. I found a really pretty piece of spalted maple that was almost too punky to use, and it was pretty small. So I just turned a little lid for it, and it fits pretty
Oh, wow.
nice.
Nice
And
job.
I finished that today.
That's nice, Bill. That's really nice.
Thank you. And one of the pieces that I picked up at that trophy shop the other day, or a few weeks ago, was a piece of beech. And the grain doesn't look too bad, but it's nothing special. So I wanted to do something a little more special with it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Nice.
So I put it on the laser and I engraved these geometric shapes in the top of it and then painted them all different colors. My wife suggested I use, this looks pink, but it's more of a purple. My wife suggested that I use Native American colors. So on the inside are these little triangles. They're kind of a bronze, and then gunmetal gray, and then that light purple. These are all metallics, and green and blue.
Yeah, that
Very
looks
cool.
better than the picture you posted.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
not too bad. I've just an experiment, and I kind of like it.
It turned out great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's what I got.
Very nice.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Billy. Next up is Mark Soleil. What you got, Mark?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Just a second.
Oh no, what happened
We
to him?
lost him.
He's gone. He's not there anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
no,
hit the
killed
wrong
himself.
button.
He hit the wrong button again.
All right. So when he's back in,
Mark's
let
got
us
some
know.
really fat fingers.
He had the
Yeah,
same problem last week.
We're gonna go to Chaim next.
Hi,
So
Yes.
what you got, Chaim?
there he
I have
is.
couple things.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's pretty.
Wow.
This is about 24 karat leaf gold,
Very cool.
and is
Nice
some
gold
secret
leafing.
box.
Nice.
And I have this.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Oh, my
What is
goodness.
that made from? Is that a Kanaska
Box.
pod?
Yeah,
That's a
Baskin, but this is
Banksia
another.
pod.
I think it's a mosquito, but I'm not sure. But that one is.
Banksia pod. Yeah.
Great job,
Yes.
buddy. Great job.
Yeah.
Pretty.
And I have one
Beautiful.
taller,
Does
17 inches.
that.
Dang.
Wow.
There you go.
it wobble? Does it wobble on the
No,
table?
I did make that base first, but it's not holding, so I put the larger on top of it. So now it's stable.
Okay.
It's
There you
about
go.
2.25. It stabilized the whole thing, so it stays stable.
Yes.
Yeah, look at
Beautiful.
if you're running the yes.
Beautiful.
A little heavy on
That's what I have.
Real pretty.
Mhm.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
17
Really
inches
nice,
it
Zane.
would be.
Can you go back to your first piece again?
This one?
Your first piece.
Oh, the first one?
Yes. Where your first? Okay. So how did you do all of the spikes?
It's a sea urchin.
No, I'm saying how was it done? How was it created?
It's a sea urchin pod.
No, it's a
It's a
sea
sea
urchin.
urchin shell.
I didn't hear
Shell.
that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Comes
sorry.
out of the ocean like that.
Yeah, the
No, he
sea.
didn't.
No,
He didn't
I
tell us,
understand
but
that.
that's.
I understand. I didn't hear it. That's beautiful. Just
No worries.
beautiful.
He didn't.
Okay.
He
Thanks.
didn't
Right.
say it, Al, but we recognize it.
Yeah.
Mark is
Very
back.
nice. Yeah, I'll try and go to him next. His camera's off. Mark, if you could turn your camera on, we could go to you. Mark Soleil. Or not.
Oh.
You'll get there.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, we're coming to you, Mark. Spotlight. Here we go.
There he
Okay,
is.
Mark, don't kill your feed this time.
But you gotta unmute.
Muted.
You do have to unmute yourself.
Still muted, Mark.
Don't rush him, Matt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes,
got you
yes.
now.
Okay, finally, let me turn this camera around and, there we
Somebody needs to
go.
make Mark a
All right,
stylist.
all right. This is a hollow form with my ball-to-ball construction on the bottom. And it's got a threaded insert.
Wow.
And then the finial, it threads in on the
Look at that.
top. Let me,
Wow.
Is that ebony or blackwood, Mark?
that's ebony.
Okay.
I use Gaboon ebony. I use African blackwood for the inserts, and I always make my finials out of the Gaboon ebony because I can get the detail that I need in that.
I was going to say because you can.
That's
Right.
beautiful.
There you go. And then I
Right.
finished it with
Fantastic.
one coat of Parfix 3408 and buffed it with
Onyx.
Bonex. And of course, the finial in the base has no, I never put any finish on it. I only do the triple EEE, that EEE Ultra Shine, because the ebony and the African blackwood are sort of waxy woods.
They got that
Sure.
oil.
I don't know if you can see it, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
not a
easy.
bad finial.
No, it's not
Very
a bad
nice.
one at
Very
all.
nice.
Beautiful.
Can
Very nice,
I ask
Mark.
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you had your wood there in your chuck making the finial, now the first thing I guess you did was got it to some kind of round, and then you probably put the threads on first, right? Is that the way you did that?
Okay, here's the steps you do. It's very simple.
I was
Okay.
watching.
Okay, well, the first thing you do is you take and you make it round, right? You just get the square round. The second thing you do is you put a finial on, a tenon on both ends, right? So
Yep.
then when you put it in the chuck, you put it from the top end. And then you turn around and you take your calipers, and after you've measured your inside threads, right? Then in this case, I had to add 120 thousandths. So I add 60 thousandths, and then that doubles when you do it to 120 thousandths, right? Which is basically an eighth of an inch. Right? And you make an escape chamber, right?
I'm following you. Yes.
Okay. And
You
where
explained it.
and where you make the threads, let me just unscrew this thing,
I'm
and
following.
I'll be able to better explain it. Okay, so where the little tip is, that was all solid, and that had a tenon on it. And on that, I'm gonna reverse my hands here. Where, there we go. Okay, so then the tenon is on the left side here. And so then the next thing I do is I take my calipers and I add the 60 thousandths, right? And that gives me 120 thousandths total. And then I make on the right-hand side, I make a little tenon there, drop it down, and then I have to make an escape chamber for the threads, and I do the undercut on the cap. And then on the left side, that tenon, I put it in the threading machine and I thread it this way. Then I turn it around and I put it on this tenon over here.
Right,
Now I can make the finial
right,
and finish it.
right.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's cool. Very cool.
Dang.
Yep. As soon as you said you put 10 on both ends, that explained it. I was wondering, how the heck did you hold that after you had the threads on?
Yeah, you just
Easily.
yeah, you just have to make a tenon, make it so that you, after you turn around, you got a place to hold it.
Right.
Very nice, Mark. Thank
Very
you for
nice,
the
Mark.
explanation. Thank you for the explanation. Much appreciated.
All right. Thank you all. Be safe. Stay healthy.
You too.
All right.
Next up is Tim. What you got, Tim?
Well, I got a couple things. Start off with a mesquite vase. So it's about, I'd say about 7 inches tall. Of course, had some cracks, so I did some filling with some of the Jimmy Clues sand, and then a little bit of coffee ground in there, and a little bit of Black Star Bond. Still have to take off the bottom, but put a spray coat of lacquer on it using the Watco gloss lacquer. The first coat went on good. Second coat, I got some bubbling and pitting, so I'm gonna have to sand that all back. So I'm glad I still have the tenon on it, and I still have to put epoxy on the inside. So one of the issues I was having was that mesquite had sat around for so long, it was rock hard. But of course, using my Trent Bosch hollower, I've got the straight and I've got the angle, but decided to go ahead and make myself a teardrop cutter. And this is one of the AZ Carbide teardrop cutters. So I got a 5/8 inch bar, just, easy making tools, just like what Scott showed us all. Cut the notch, tapped it, drilled it, tapped it, and that fits a little hogger, and it also fits this teardrop cutter now. So now I have one for my elbow tool, and now I also have one for my Trent Bosch stabilizer. So then I was online looking at some stuff because I was friggin' bored at work, and ran across Glenn and Liza. Glenn was making Christmas trees that light up. So I put a hand at that. And it's not bad. The light's not as bright as I want it to be, but playing around with it. So at the bottom, it has the Forstner bit hole big enough for the tea light, and then a 1/2 inch hole drilled up through the center. And I got about a 12-inch bit. So this is about 9.5 inch piece. I drilled up close to the end, and then I drilled my holes in. So then I tried a different one.
Can you show us what that looks like when you put the
one or
Can
not?
you show it what that looks like when the lights are on?
I'm sorry?
Can you show it what it looks like with the light on inside?
Illuminated, no, because the tea light that I had for this one is dead. So
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
this one's not going to work that way. This one here, I don't know if you can kind of make out the lighting in there or not.
Nah, I can't.
Okay.
Can't really.
A little bit down at the bottom. If it was darker, it would light up. And that's using those little small tea lights that I want to say Terry showed us last week. Different colors or flashing different colors, that type of thing. And the final thing I got was my nod to Birdhouse Bob. So I took a piece of scrap wood that I had from I'd gotten from Dane last year, eucalyptus that I'd made that urn out of, and I started making a birdhouse. This one still needs a top, and of course finial. That one's got a bird on it. I
Cool.
still finished doing the coloring on it and stuff, but that one's got a bird. So a little nod to Birdhouse Bob, and then continued on with that theme for two other birds. This one's made out of cedar with got some pecan roof and finial, and this one's all pecan and has some cedar on the bottom. So
outstanding.
Oh,
And Birdhouse Bob's in to see him.
Good stuff, Tim.
So I'm having a problem coming up with the Def Clear lacquer. So the wife went on Amazon, and the best thing we could come up with was Prolux. It's supposed to be the same formula as Def. I got 6 cans of it. We're gonna give it a try.
It is. They renamed it, Mark. The Prolux is the new name.
Okay, so it is the same thing.
Ace up here as well. Ace.
I have read that it's not as good as Deft. I haven't tried it yet, but I've read that it's not as good as Deft.
Okay. Well, we'll give it a try because it's got to beat that dang Watco stuff that I can't stand that stuff.
Right.
It took, like I say, 2 coats, and on the second coat, for some reason, it bubbled up towards the top here. I don't know if it was getting towards the end of the can or what, but it just did not make me a happy camper. So,
have you ever tried just Krylon spray?
Krylon lacquer? No, I have not.
It's not
I'll
lacquer.
get a can of that and give that a
acrylic.
try.
It's acrylic, and then it's acrylic, and then all you've got to do just use you've got clear gloss, and they've got clear, flat.
Satin.
I use the clear gloss, and then guess what? You can buff it. It's just acrylic.
Well, I'll give that a try, Mark. I appreciate the tip.
$3.27 at Walmart
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Didn't mean to take up everybody's time, but we got in the shop and started doing some turning. So
Glad to see you're
I'm gonna
making
have
some
to
little
try that
projects out of
sometime.
eucalyptus.
Say again?
I said, I'm glad to see some of that eucalyptus turning into little projects for you.
Yeah, I still have some more.
I know you do.
Gave me a considerable amount, so
Right.
it's for a later project, but
Right. Yeah, it's fun turning that stuff, ain't it?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've
you and
got
the
something on the
grinder.
lathe that I picked up at Rockler like 2 years ago when we had that snowmageddon and a tree got knocked over. That stuff's been in my shop for 2 years, and I put it on the lathe last night to start turning a bowl, and I'll tell you what, it is hard as woodpecker lips. I'm not sure what the heck it is, but it's going to be interesting when it comes out. So
Good.
all right, we'll see you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So what I've got, I found my Speedball Super Black, so life is good.
Yay.
So
Right where you put
and I made the, what's that?
Right where you put it.
Yeah, right where I put it. Exactly, shelf
right-
above my
right where you
computer.
put it.
So last week I made a bunch of these for the lathes at the school where I teach, and in
There we go.
comments, Dane suggested putting a super magnet in it, and I put a little super magnet in it, and this is an absolutely great idea.
Outstanding.
Yeah, this works great. I tested them all. They're all painted orange, so I can find them if they end up in the shavings. So
Yep.
and
job.
and they work great. So thank you very much, Dane. I appreciate that suggestion.
Yeah,
That's
you're
great.
welcome. You're welcome.
So
You bet.
and on that note, we'll go back to you, Dane.
All right, great. So with that, so we're an hour into the program. We've been seeing a lot of great gallery and a lot of inspiration from everybody tonight. I really appreciate that. And so with that, let's chime over to our royalty here because we got Mr. Captain Eddie in tonight. And let's see if he's got any kind words to share with us tonight. Go ahead, Cap. Good to see you, buddy. It's been a while.
Good to
for
see you
me.
folks. Great
It's
to
been a
see you.
while.
I always learn a little something here. Woodpecker lips. I love that one, Tim.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I heard that phrase. And Billy Bertlow. Look, Billy, I'm working on it.
Yeah, you're working on it.
Oh, because I was too damn lazy to get a razor.
I lost mine.
I hope I don't find mine. All right. Hey, folks, there's a lot coming up. And I'm glad we put off a little chat together before the demo tonight because we have like 80-something people in a group. And I need to talk to all of y'all. Really, I do. I mean, today was an issue of the newsletter that came out. And I apologize. I normally break it down to PDFs and put it on about 15 to 20 servers. My daughter can't make the change. Something went wrong with our server over here. So we'll get it up in a day or so and I'll spread it around. But that's what I do for the newsletter. is I try to enhance distribution by getting it in as many hands as humanly possible. But what am I getting out there sometimes is missing some work. Yeah, and you know what I'm talking about. You just saw that work. You just saw pieces that came out of our shops that are newsletter worthy that we don't get photographs of. And we're going to create an investigation. In fact, I think we're bringing in the crew from Washington, D.C. to do a thorough investigation here. If we got to man up the troops and everything else, because we're going to find out why you folks don't jump on board with the best newsletter in the entire world dealing with wood turning. It is that, and it's free, and it's yours, and your chance to brag. It's your chance to show what you do, show everything you do. Give us some details on a finial like Mark just turned. Yes, there's a lot of detail in that, and there's a lot of detail on how he held it and turned it and did relief on it, etc. And then how does he work this out? How does he work that out? And we saw the same thing with Dewey's pieces tonight and others. So yes, we're looking for that work. We need it badly. We have an awesome editor. JJ does great work putting that newsletter together. Really, he does. And he does this out of the spirit of a good heart. And I think he does a wonderful job. And every time it comes out, I am totally amazed at the work we see and the art that we share that comes out of our group. And I can throw this up against any group in the entire world. And I'm talking about what some people say, oh, the big dogs, that 3-letter company, the group. No, that's not the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We are. We have a much stauncher, greater, more active membership, and we look at for more help from our membership. We need you in the mix. So if you would, contribute to the newsletter, get it mixed into it. And real soon we'll announce the rules and the guidelines and everything else on registration for Level Up. That's only going to start, well, that registration can open in about a month. You'll be able to register, get your spot in line. And there really won't be a line. It's just like a gang party in front of a lake with 25 or 30 legs running at one time. And people from all walks of life showing up for it, and techniques and styles and influences and ideas and knickknacks and all things that you can't find in other magazines and other places. It happens here, because here is where you find the wood turners. And did I say wood turner? Wood Turning Magazine this month has got a great guest editor. Yeah, we know the guy. We understand, he works for a lady that's a very dear person, and she keeps him lined up. But Duxbury is the guest editor at Wood Turning Magazine. Now, that's available online. I get mine through, I think it's through Prime. It costs me $3.27 a month, and I get it every month. And it gets loaded on my iPad, and I get to look at it. And that is a true wood turning magazine. That's just like this is a true wood turning newsletter and a true wood turning website and a true wood turning group. That is true wood turning. It shows you the basics, the tricks, the art, the styles, and all that. And if you haven't checked it out, you really need to look at it. If you want to look at a taste of it, email me. Eddie Castellan@gmail.com. And I'll send you a couple of sheets of it. Don't want to violate their copyright, so I can't send the whole thing. Okay. And then we got the world's greatest website. Every week we talk to Dave, and Dave gives us insight on what's happening. Tonight we were trying to solve Al's problems with a server and his feed dropping down. Al, don't worry about that. That's going to warp your brain. Don't. We'll give you some fixes. Well, we will. We'll try to help you out. We'll give you some solutions. But don't let it hurt you, man. It's just that you're online, and none of that is as true as what anybody in this world like you to believe it to be. So we appreciate what you do, what you bring us. And folks, you never have to apologize for the quality or the edit or the content of whatever you give us. You give us what you generate, and we take it. We're not going to say no. We're not going to say, well, that doesn't meet up to our standards. Look at us. Our standards are wood turning. We love what we do. We love what we say. We love wood turning, and that's it. And if we can help you, all you have to do is contact us. We will help you. You want to be part of the mix? You are part of the mix. There's no mixing it up. This is the group. Look around you. These are the people who've been with you for almost 6 years. And they've been right here all the time. And we have fun every Wednesday evening. And I'll repeat, everything's on the website. There's nobody else in the world does that. Nobody else in the world does that. Yeah, check that out and think about it. We do things that even what they call the big guys can't touch. That's right, because we love wood turning. And with that, we love it so much, we have a dedicated safety moment. And we have that. We have all kinds of gallery and things coming up tonight. So with that, I want to thank you all for being a part of the mix, the gang, the club, the group, the
Gaggle.
careful. The what?
The gaggle.
The gaggle. There we go. I'll call it a gaggle.
For sure.
I'm
for
getting the
sure.
signal that if you folks saw how little I eat every day since I had this kidney problem, the wife just gave me the signal. We're going to eat tonight. All right.
Sounds good,
But I'm
Eddie.
going to do that while we do the demonstration at First Safety, right?
Yep, we're going to go to safety next. I appreciate the montage there. And so with
All
that,
right.
let's go to safety, Sue, and Captain Eddie. Make sure you eat some extra for me because I haven't ate today.
Yeah. Oh well. Who's that,
Sue,
Sue?
we got you. You're muted though, girl.
I'm unmuted now.
We got
So-
you.
Let's talk about stuff that we do unconsciously. And I'm going to talk from experience. You know, we all played ball when we were younger, and it's a reflex. Something's coming at you, put your hand out. Something's dropping, put your hand down. Yesterday, while I was turning this, one of the tools slipped off the lathe. I know you're not supposed to keep them on the lathe. And I just grabbed it. And I thought, well, at least it didn't hit the floor and I'm good to go. I didn't know that I had cut my finger on that piece of carbon until I was wiping down the piece with DA and the burning started. I'm thinking, holy crap, it didn't even bleed. So what I'm saying is be careful around your lathe. Today, I actually resanded the whole thing and something fell and I didn't think anything of it. I didn't even feel it. When I got in the house, there was a stream of blood going down my leg. So guys, you shouldn't be wearing shorts around the lathe. I know. I tell everybody that all the time. But it's hot, so I was wearing shorts. And what I'm saying is be cognizant of what you're doing. A lot of it is reflex, not reflex, reflex. And even though you don't realize that you're doing, you can hurt yourself by just as a reflex catching something. So if a tool falls, just let it fall. Try to keep your tools off your lathe so that something doesn't come down and hit you in the shin. And I'm not going to wear chaps at the lathe in my shorts. So just be careful, you guys. I don't need a shave on my legs either. So, and I know that the guys don't want that. So be careful around your lathe. be careful with sharp objects around your leg. And I hope to see you next week. It's a short one today. I'm blaming myself. So take care. No Band-Aid, Brenda, and have a wonderful week. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Sue.
Standing. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you,
Thank
Sue.
you.
You're welcome.
No matter how small it is, it's always good advice that you're portraying on us every week. So we really appreciate that. You know, if one person can just take a little smidget of what you're saying and apply it to what they're doing in their shop, the benefit's already there. So thank you again. All right. So with that, let's you guys want to see a demo tonight?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that why everybody's here? All right. Well, with that, we have Mr. Kurt Kapp in the night, and he's going to be putting on a wonderful demonstration. And let me go and find him and replace my mug with what he's doing. And so it's going to be Kurt's demo tonight. He's inviting us into his shop to show us what he does with this little project. This is how he turns it. There's probably another 100 or 200 ways to do what he's doing, but you know, this is Kirk's thing, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. So with that, I am going to mute everybody. If you have any questions or comments, put them into the chat during opportune times when Kirk is doing a tool changeover. I will ask the questions. Otherwise, we will have discussion at the end of the demo to where Kirk can give you 100% hands-on, unavoidable attention to your question, unless Kirk wants to solicit questions from the gallery as he's turning. So with that, I'm going to mute everybody now, Kirk, and you'll need to unmute yourself. So muting now. And I should have you.
We're good?
Yes, sir. Look at that sticker. Woo, that's hot.
Yeah, yeah. Sticker of the day.
Right?
Here's what we're going to make tonight. A little square bowl with wings. I think it's not going to be quite that little. Not going to be quite that little. That would be boring to watch that. They only take a couple minutes to do it.
Yeah, that'd be too quick.
8-inch square. It's a little less than 3 inches thick. I've drilled a 2 1/8 Forstner bit in the center. I'm going to mount it on the chuck that way in the basically a recess, lazy man's recess, I guess you would say. I'm going to just expand out into it. It's about the only time
what is it?
This is cherry.
Cherry.
Yep. Bring his tailstock up just because it's there and we can use it. Proper speed slow. We will get to a fairly good speed to it. But once we get some weight off of it. First order of business, make sure that it doesn't hit anything underneath. That's always a good day when you put one on that's too big and it hits on the underneath side. This is the top. This is the recess that I put in. That is the top of the piece. So that's where we're going to actually start. Start using just a simple 60-degree swept back grind bowl gouge. What I'm going to do is clean up a little area. No, just a little ways down in. I'm more interested in where these corners are at. This I cut on the bandsaw, and I don't necessarily have the greatest luck in cutting things straight on a bandsaw, primarily because I'm too lazy to change the blade. So that was cut with a 3/8 inch blade, which could be a whole lot thicker and all that good stuff. If you don't like the propeller sound, it's probably not a good project for you, because it can be pretty loud. Well, just use sort of the wing of the tool and just gently glide in back and forth. You can feel it's a little bit out of round right there. We'll just go in about, I don't know, 1.5 inches maybe. Got to have a very light touch because there's very little, I'm all about cutting air right now. So all I really want to do is make sure that I touch, right now I'm touching 2, but the other 2 are still not touching. So if you don't do it now, as you find out these little things by the way of messing something up, you'll always go to the one, you'll end up going to the wrong one eventually. And you'll have one that is very, very thin. It will be thin anyhow. That's pretty much the corners. It's really all I'm after is just these outside corners. And I don't necessarily worry. I'm not very straight, even on that cut. It doesn't really matter. All I'm interested in is the very corner of it. So now I know where the corner's at. If you really want to be technical about it, you could mark somewhere, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch in, something like that. You may or may not be able to see that when it's spinning. Probably not, but it's always a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Then we'll come back and we'll flatten out the back first. And we'll leave the tailstock up for the moment. Can switch over to there so you can see a little bit more of what we're doing. Now I'm interested in getting this fairly flat and really just flat out in the corner area, the wing area, so to speak. Because the rest of it becomes a bowl anyhow. It's actually very hard to actually make them straight. So we got enough there, enough there. So now we sort of need to know, or have a general idea of about how much we're going to leave. And this size here, I'll figure about 3/8 of an inch, something like that. 3/8 to a half an inch out there. Subject to change as we go. Tiny little crack showed up there. That's not exactly what I want to see, but it'll go away. So now I'm going to switch over to my shorter tool rests. Things you have to pay attention when you're doing this stuff is you can't see these corners coming around very well. So wouldn't necessarily have to change the tool rest. The tool rest is your friend. It keeps your arm away from things. In the worst case thing that you can do with this, like especially in my case, this is Laguna lathe. On off is on my left. So you always reach over to turn something off, and you can reach across and smack your fingers on this as it comes around, which would not be a good day.
Oh,
So
not
now
at
we're just
all.
trying to kind of remove a bunch of material out here on the wing. Gently, of course. We'll try and make sure you go the whole way out. And start digging down for where the bowl is going to be. And then we're going to bring things in a little bit closer. Sometimes it will, this cherry might not be friendly tonight. Usually don't end up with a whole bunch of tear out, but there's ways around that once we get that far. So we'll just keep going inward. Hope that wasn't a chunk that came flying off at it. It did, tiny bit. Thank goodness we're not close to where we need to be yet, but it's where you need to be sort of a little bit gentle on the outside edges, at least once we get up closer to where we're going to finish at. We'll also bring the speed up some more now. We got some weight away from it. Kind of the scary part for most people in this, the easiest place to see what you're doing is actually looking straight down across it, which means you're directly in the line of fire of it, which most people don't like. But at this point, it's very securely held. So there's no, as far as I'm concerned, there's no real worries on it. I'm kind of brave anyhow. This also allows you to see the shape develop as you're cutting. You can make these as curved as what you want or as straight as what you want. That tiny little line that I put on there, I don't know if the camera necessarily picks it up, but you can see it coming around. And we're already getting carried away. Thought I could see it coming around. Yeah. So we don't want to take any more off up there. They're already down probably thinner than really what I would have liked. Once again, it looked like you can actually, when it's spinning, you can actually see that line. Why it didn't pick, must not have had that line in the right place. Okay, enough with the wings. Get rid of the corner here. Here's where we're also going to get rid of the tailstock. Ah, as you knock the camera all over the place. Sorry about that. Might as well switch to the long one right off the bat.
Or do you have your cones, your little pointer from your live center removed?
I have the whole live center. Yes, I did.
Okay, that's what I thought I was seeing there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just the ring. Yeah. I don't, probably more times than not, that's not in there. I want to be able to, in this case, I can't manipulate this at all as far as, well, you could. I've seen people do it. I've seen Richard Raffin manipulate his, but as far as I was concerned, I had this parallel enough that I wasn't going to have to move it. I think we'll go with this, probably the bigger size pennant. If all goes well, that can be the foot as well. Now we'll just start shaping. Just want a bowl shape. Get it right up to the corner. Might need a little bit, just a shade bit more of a tenant. Make sure we're not tearing anything up. And we also need to go a little bit deeper. That was the other thing I needed to look at. We want a little bit of, I want a little bit of something hanging up there. That's just kind of the way I do them. So we'll need to make this curve a little bit more of a curve, I guess you would say.
You got a fantastic cut coming off the tool there, Kurt.
That's sharp.
Yeah, it's amazing what a grinder will do, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't go to I haven't gone to the one that will give it even a smoother cut yet. I mean, this is doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Good presentation of the tool. Yep, doing great.
So now we got about 3/8 of an inch. We can probably can live with that. I'm going to take what I disturbed up here and change it a little bit. Being very gentle. Actually, the really little ones, like I showed you earlier, they're actually easier to do than these because you can spin. This is still fairly heavy. Little wormhole there.
Right. The shape's coming out really good.
Yeah, except there's a crack on right straight through the tenon. So I guess we're going to start over there.
You want to elaborate why you wanted to start over on that?
There was a crack.
For those that don't understand why, you should.
That crack would not give us a good grip. It would compress. Would throw this
Right.
thing out of it would throw this thing out of balance for the one. And we don't want that.
No.
Not at all. That's an unbevel supported cut. Why it's a little, you can see the difference in the cut quality, which is tremendous. So now we get to reshape the bottom of the bowl a little bit. And we'll just dig it a little bit deeper up there. We'll look at the top and see where we're at. So we're probably still close to an inch thick up there, which is a little bit, more like about 3/4, 7/8. Which I think they look better when they're not quite so much up there. Now we've gotten rid of our crack. Let's finish our tenon up. And we Confucius say, don't touch the sharp edge of the tool with your finger.
Guilty.
Has a tendency to hurt a little bit. So a little bit of a dovetail. If we wanted to, we could clean up this bottom a little bit as we go over that corner that we're not supposed to. Like I say, eventually that can be the foot if we wanted it to be. Since we don't have a live center mark, which I don't usually, if I take a pencil and come out away from center and go towards center, I can leave a teeny tiny little dot in the center, and that is the center. Simple little trick that everybody is amazed at I teach these some classes of woodcraft, and they're like, I said, we need to know where center's at. Now we're like, well, how are we going to do that? I said, it's very simple. Okay. So that's our basic bowl shape. Looks like there's a little something there that's might have a hole in it when we're done. Not necessarily what you want, but. So now we're going to go back, since we know what we're going, we'll go back to our wings. And we'll shape them. Just using the bottom wing of the tool, just gently gliding across, pulls against my body. I'm moving my body with it. It's giving you fairly small shavings. Not as small as they could be. But now we're looking to make sure that we have sort of the shape that we want.
Kurt, is this dry or wet?
Semi-wet. This just come
Semi-wet.
out of a
Okay.
log, but the log's been here about 3 years, I think. 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
I didn't put a moisture meter on. I should have. It sort of makes me into mind that it might be a little wetter than what I think it is. It's not throwing any water. Put it that way.
It looks great.
So I just sort of flatten them out a little bit. It'll give us a longer curve on this top part when we do that. So now it's time to clean up the bottom. And we'll start that with another gouge. First one we're using is a typical 60-degree swept back grind. This is also a 60-degree, but it's ground with straight wings and has a bevel up here that's about 1/8 of an inch long. And it will do, it's kind of amazing. I just started trying this out myself. This is something that Matt Monaco demonstrated last year at the Tennessee Symposium. And I just watched another video with him and that, and I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. We should try that. But he really talks more about the fact that it's more the fact that it's such a small bevel, less steel in contact with the wood, plenty of speed, nice light touch. Won't necessarily make quite as light of a cut as what we're making, but whatever it wants to make. And it will get into a tighter corner than the swept back because the wings are sort of out of the road. It's really a 40-40, basically almost like a 40-40 grind with, the only difference is it's 60 degrees. It seems to work really nicely. I've left some, it's a little bit harder when you have that short of a bevel. I still get ripples in. There's no torn grain, which is the really important part. There's no end grain, torn grain, or anything like that. But it does do an interesting job. The other tool that he likes to use, and Richard Raffin does the same thing. They all like their traditional scrapers. Well, this little guy is a weapon as far as I'm concerned in some ways, because it is pointy. I don't use this one, and Monaco did the same thing. He said, I don't use it flat. Very, very seldom ever uses it flat. It's always up on it's going to be up on its edge and just glide across the surface. And it does an interesting job. The only difference, the weird thing is, if you notice, I moved the tool rest back a ways because this is so long on the sides that it will come down onto the tool rest, and you don't want that. But you can smooth things up very quickly, very easily. Get rid of any of them little bumps and lumps in there. You can go in both directions with it. And I can never catch you can see there's really almost dust on there. It has 2 sides, so you can use both sides. The part of being very gentle is where it's at. The handles also drop down somewhat. And according to him, it doesn't matter which direction you go. You can go in both directions, and it does just fine either way. I have a little bit of a lump right there. But it will save you a ton of time sanding. If you want to spend it. Yeah, it's another scenario of, do you want to spend the time sanding or you want to spend the time trying to get your tools to do what you think they should do? Like I say, here's where you got to pay attention to where the wings are. As long as my arm is on this side of the tool rest, I'm pretty good. And it will allow you to get right into the corner. And it should be nice and clean. I really haven't found any, well, that little piece of box elder, it sort of did want to stand some of the grain up on that, but it's box elder, so. Now we'll go out and do the scary part, and we'll do the wing the same way, because there's ridges and everything else in there. So we definitely want them clean. Also going to bring the speed up a little bit higher. So if you have a catch now, then it's really exciting. Well, my tool rests around far enough. It's got to be around, it's kind of an odd thing. Your tool rest can get in the road of this tool in a hurry. What I'm really after is to get in that corner as well. And you can actually almost stick that point right in that corner. I could also go back with probably the easier, cheater way would be just to take the spindle gouge and go in there and undercut that just a tiny little bit. Like I say, I haven't been using that terribly long. Certain things that I'm not quite as brave as what he would be. So to me, it's just as easy and more convenient. Pick up a spindle gouge. It's got a nice short corner. Go in there and give it just a tiny little bit of an undercut. Sort of defines the two edges. That's pretty much the bottom ready to sand and do whatever.
Right.
If you're going down that route. Get rid of that before I knock it on the ground. That's a homemade one too. That's not a manufactured one. I don't spend $100 on something that I may or may not like. Now, of course, everybody's next question is, how do you sand something like this? Very simple. You can
Very
sand it with a
carefully.
pad. Go ahead. Gonna bring the speed back down a little bit. This is a pretty long pad. This is about 5 inches long. It actually is Velcro. As long as you hold it downward, you can sand it and not push hard. Very gentle. You can sand it while it's spinning. Of course, the bowl part is just like sanding any other bowl. You also can power sand these, which is the way I would normally do it. Same deal. You're going to hold the pad on the bottom. So only the bottom quarter of it touches. The only problem here with the power sanding is you can't necessarily get in that corner very well. And you could progress through the grits. You could also sand it without it spinning, which is kind of a safer, more user-friendly kind of thing. But this little area in here, you can sand, if you're brave enough, which you can be, you can go in here by hand with a little small piece of sandpaper while it's spinning. Just have to make sure where your fingers are at, and you can get in that corner. That's the hardest part of doing these, is this tiny little corner in here. So like I say, there's multitude of ways of getting to it. And we didn't come here to watch people sand, so That's all the more sanding we're gonna do. Take it out.
That's good advice that you laid down there. So
Well, any of this stuff you got to be pretty careful with when it comes to sanding. I mean, you see it even with the pad, it can not necessarily reach out and touch your fingers, but it just kind of it'll startle you because it grabs a hold of it, and you
right,
can't necessarily see what you're doing.
it don't take much for it to pull you in.
No. And you leave the speed up there. I was sanding there when I was doing it by hand. That was up about 1200 RPM, something like that. So I put the piece, the grain is running up and down, put it between the two jaws, gives me the most uniform grip all the way around, so they say. This is almost, as Richard Raffer would say, that's almost a perfect tenon. There's only about a 16th of
Sure
an
is.
inch. It will not leave jaw marks in there, or it shouldn't leave any jaw marks, put it that way. So now it's just a matter of removing the middle. Of course, we need an idea. Sorry if my head's directly in front of you. But I needed a place. I knew that wasn't going to be true. Try and get an idea where this is at on the inside versus the outside, or this side of it. And it's not quite as flat as what one would like, so we'll do it again. So we're going to get rid of some material. Get rid of a little bit in here, more so just to true things up, so that it's not bouncy. And just keep working my way back a little bit at a time. Here's where the little micro bevel, as he would want to call it, really shines on stuff like this. I'm also actually standing in basically in the line of fire because I want to be able to look at the back side and the front side together. And it should give me a real good idea on where I'm at thickness wise. Light touch. It's making a real lot of noise. You're doing like there, putting a little too much pressure on it. These are noisy to do. I know some people that can do them and without noise, but I'm not one of those people. So we're not quite out to the corner, but we're a fat quarter. I'm not quite in far enough towards the center either. The other thing we can do is try and manipulate the tool rest and a little. I could actually put the short tool rest on and go in there so you had less tool overhang. Can make a little difference. I don't see where it makes a ton of difference. Speed can be your friend here if you're brave. So we'll find our bevel back in here. Bear is being awful noisy. Ash is the one that's can really be noisy. I still didn't quite get to the corner. I also rounded these corners over. This is maybe an 1/8 of an inch deep, 1/8 of an inch thick right there. So that's probably, as far as I'm concerned, that would be a little bit thin for these. So a lot of times, I mean, it looks neat to do these in this fashion, but the bottom line is you can round these corners over. It makes them a little bit more user friendly to somebody that might, if you take them to a craft show or something like that, just to knock that little bit of the corners over. No shame in that. A lot of mine have the corners knocked over because they remain sharp. no matter what you do and how much you sand them. As soon as you try and sand the corners over, they're usually uneven. I don't think it'll let me go. I could try it a little bit. I got a little carried away. Not that big of a cut. So that's 1/8 of an inch. So I get rid of that, which is, they're going to be very flexible. It's also why they're extra noisy to cut. It's really hard to see what you're doing. Almost if I feel. Once you get away from the very outside tip, then they're fine. Get rid of some material there, because we need that to go in. It gets a little bit thinner, you can see through it a little bit. Helps you see what you're doing. Also step back and look, we're inside. We're basically inside the outer part of the bowl. And I'm also went in on a little bit of a curve rather than straight. So you have options when it comes to this part. Let's save the edge on that one. So if we went in there and left, say, 1/4 of an inch or something like that sticking up, which would be an option. We know I'm almost not tall enough. Yeah. When they're smaller, and I'm tall to start with, I can actually look up down over the top of them to see where I'm at. And we're, like I say, we're already a little bit inside of that. So if we took our wall thickness, say somewhere thereabouts, we could leave that there. Leaving as much of the material in the middle as I can for now, so that I can go out, so that I can stay out here and make this fairly thin. It's probably a little thicker than what we really needed. So I switch back over to the one that has a shorter bevel on it. Start to sweep the curve. Now, if we leave this here, we could actually maybe do like a bead on there. If this cherry will cooperate. You could leave a little bit of a bead up there and actually make this into a lidded bowl, so to speak. I can show you why. I do have one over here that is almost done. Be best done with a spindle gouge rather than a bowl gouge, though. Down into the corner. You can just knock this over. a little bit. One of the times you certainly can't do this while it's spinning. I'm gonna go back from the other side just a bit there, left that fuzzy in the center. This also, if on your first try on something like this, just get rid of that. That just creates a whole lot more work sanding wise. I just thought I'd show you that's something you can do with these if you wanted to do something with a lid. This one's probably a little bit too big for a lid, so we'll just get rid of it. Like I say, it's an option that you could do. You could do that, put a lid on it, some sort. The real problem with doing that is trying to sand this little bead in here without taking your fingers off while you're doing it. So we'll just get rid of it and we'll just make it into just a bowl. Then it's basically just a bowl like any other bowl. It just has square wings. At this point, if I was doing it as a finished piece, I would probably take the time to sand this out here. I'm also looking down across this area here to make sure that I'm even across here so that we've matched this curve. Same as what I did before. We can power sand them on the inside as well. There, slow it down just a little bit slower than what I was going. But you can power sand, as long as that bead's not there, you can power sand them. Very easy to do. Makes a whole lot of dust, but what we have a dust collector for. But that would be that. And then you sand these edges. I generally will sand them with a block sander. Sand them by hand. So now we can go ahead and finish out inside. Always checking to make sure where these wings are at before you turn anything on. It's a really bad day to turn the lathe on to find out your wing just went flying the other way. Like I say, it's thin, it's flexible. It would break very, very quickly.
Oh yeah.
I would say somewhere between 1/4 and 3/8 in there. That's why that was squeaking earlier. Forgot this tool rest. I have a stop ring on all of them. That one's actually set for a 5/8 gouge, not a 1/2 inch gouge. So I was probably a little bit below where I wanted to be on the outside. As long as I leave the steps, I don't need to close the gouge. I can just I'm coming back up on the bevel, drop over into the next step, go forward. Makes it very quick, very efficient. And nothing says we can't go back the other way. All we're doing is getting rid of stuff. Switch over to the shorter bevel. Last cut's a clean cut. So make it a little bit smaller, go a little bit slower. And it should be perfectly clean. No torn grain. We can always use the trusty figure 8 and see where we are out here. And we're like a fat 1/4. Always pays to stop and check. The micro bevel does not like to remove a bunch of material at one time. That's where I keep switching back and forth. Should be getting us very close to where we need to create our curve back across the center. Pretty consistent. Bring the tool rest angled in just a little bit. Back just a little bit. From here, I get rid of the center. I pretty much go straight across. Another place, if they're bigger yet, there again, I have the long tool rest. So my arm is out here on the end of the tool rest. Because technically it's hanging over the tool rest in some ways. I took a class several years ago with Rudy Lopez down in Florida, and he is like the master at doing this kind of very thin kind of work. One of his little takes on it was to take a piece of painter's tape, nice wide piece of painter's tape, and put it on your arm and leave it so that it's flapping, sticking out away from your arm, so that if your arm gets close enough and it hits that, it's a good indication that you're about ready to get whacked. Of course,
Good idea.
he also said you might have to go change your shorts first time it does it to you. Because
it makes a sound.
Oh yeah, yeah. He taught this kind of thin stuff at I think it was Campbell or one of those schools. And his helper disappeared on him. And he's like, where the heck did he go? And about 10 or 15 minutes later, the guy come back with earplugs. Because they were doing pine, they were doing some 2x6 pine is what they were working on. And they were there again, they're trying to go very, very thin. And it can be very, very loud. Like I say, if you do it in ash and things like that, I don't have a gentle enough touch myself. Always get to what I want.
Now, is this something you'd be able to turn with a 40/40 grind, Kurt?
You could do part of it with the 40.
But not the bottom in the transition.
Right. That's a good point. I mean, I have the 40/40 grind too, and I've used that quite a bit as well. There again, the 40. Let's go strictly back overhead. Maybe I can zoom in, see if you can see the difference between the 40. I mean, it's 20 degrees difference by no means, right. But the 40-degree gouge, if you use it at all, you'll find it'll do a wonderful job up on the side grain down to about there. And I can show you what it'll do right here on the bottom. It does not want to go into the end grain at all. It wants to chatter and it just doesn't want to do it. Where you're basically doing the same thing with the 60-degree gouge, and you don't need to you know, if that's the only gouge you wanted to have, then it would work. I mean, this cherry is soft enough. It's going across the end grain all right. But if it's something hard, and especially in the transition area in here where it goes from all side grain and end grain, that the 40-degree, the 40-40 as they want to call it, just doesn't work very well. And Stuart Batty will tell you that himself. It doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They're in the business to sell tools, so yeah, you need disc gouge to do half or 2/3 of your work. And then I'll show you this bottom bowl gouge to do the bottom of the bowl, because it won't do that part. You know, so like I say, they're trying to sell tools. And the best part of that is the funny part of it, I think, and some of that is they all say that you can't. They like to say the can't word a lot. You can't sharpen a 40-40 gouge on the Wolverine system or any of the other ones. I'm gonna make one more little cut because I got left a hump in here. Now there again, Monaco talks about this, and freehand grinding it, which that's all he uses is a freehand grinding. So how many tools do you want to go through before you get it figured out how to be consistent on your freehand grind?
Right.
Well, I'm not that guy, but it's getting thin enough. It wants to talk to me a little bit. It's also me pushing too hard. I got rid of my hump. Might still have a little dip in the bottom. Feels better. Nothing a little sanding won't take care of. Notches probably will fall out. Probably not a probably, it will fall out. But that's it. That's your square bowl.
Look at that.
Good thing for rubber pads. See how quickly I move my feet, Safety Sue? Because I got shorts on too. Yeah.
So going across the bottom, Kirk, were you using a 60-degree grind?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a 6-degree. I mean, and there again, you can do it with a typical swept back grind. One of the things, where are we at? We're over there. Let's go over here. Is relieve a whole bunch of the heel when you get to the inside of your bowl. And it doesn't necessarily mean the top part of your bowl, depending on how big it is, but definitely when you start to make the curve. Otherwise, this back end will leave little crush marks as it goes in. So if you get rid of quite a bit of the heel, this is down to about 1/8 of an inch maybe at the nose. It doesn't really matter. I see a lot of people, you know, they must change their jig to be able to grind this whole thing around so it all looks pretty and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I don't really care what it looks like on the side. The nose is where it's at. So, you know, just get rid of some of the heel versus the 60-degree. You put them side by side, maybe looking down. I can, oops, can even bring it up close and personal.
There we go.
Too up close and personal. So if you took all three and put them side by side, swept back 60, straight wing 60, and the 40. This gets ground. This gets ground on the grinder. If you'd like, I can show you. It's very simple to do. And these people say you cannot do this. Well, I was also in a class with Rudy Lopez, which is actually would be a good one. we could put, maybe you
Go
could
ahead.
put that in the chat as well. If you go over to rudolphlopez.com, he has a little PDF that you can print out. It gives you a setup block for your grinder. It also shows you the two positions on the one-way Varigrind to do the 40-degree and the 60-degree grind, all with one jig. Now, those purists say you can't do the 40-degree grind, and I'm like, I have yet to be anywhere where I could actually take one of mine along and hand it to, the Stuart Baddies or one of them and say, well, how am I doing on my freehand grinding?
Right.
He'd probably say, oh, you're doing a wonderful job. Well, that's because it's not freehand. So let's jump over there. I did not mark the a line where the other 60 degrees at. So let's start out with the normal one. That's where it's set. That was the last thing I sharpened.
Pay attention, Brenda.
I'm not using I sort of have, I shouldn't say I've given up on the Wolverine system. The platform that Stuart Batty has, I bought this many years ago down at SWAT. They were Twinever Woodworkers Emporium.
Oh yeah.
Was sort of getting rid of his line of stuff, so to speak. So I bought the platform there, which they're worth their weight in gold as far as I'm concerned. That's the platform to have if you're going to do any amount of platform grinding. This is the woodcut system on the right. Once again, it was on sale. And I do like it better than the Wolverine system for a couple simple reasons. One, if you want to move it, this one has little teeth on the back of it. So you loosen this up and you can move it one tooth at a time, basically one tooth at a time, to change whatever it is you want to change. Now, like I say, I went from the Wolverine system to this. So I still had the Varigrind. And it actually has, in mind, there's a line, there's scribe line there. There's also another scribe line because I was moving them back and forth between the two. I picked the short one, didn't I? Yes, I did. When the tools get short
grind one.
Yeah, this is the normal one-way one. It still fits in the pocket of the woodcut one. I mean, it still works.
The true grind system. It's called the true grind system. Yes.
So the 40-degree, you should be able to see it. In order to sharpen that, I mean, if you're really super fussy about, is this truly 40 degrees back here? I don't know. Every once in a while I measure it just to see how bad I'm getting. One thing is you want it back. If you're going to go in one direction or the other, make it more of a longer sweep going back, not shorter sweep, so it's standing more up.
Hold it down towards the grinder body.
There we go.
So like I say, I sharpen it quick, and then we'll grind it. All I'm doing, I go over about 90 degrees, so it's sitting flat. I wiggle it back and forth. That will keep the wings straight. Roll up over the nose. Same thing on the other side. And that's all there is to sharpen it. There's none of this over here on the platform because like I say, this one I ground on the platform tonight before I started. I can do one side pretty good. The other side, not so good. Primarily probably because I'm right-handed, not left-handed. But we can stick this in the same jig. Like I said, it would be better if I have marks on the side of this because I'm too lazy to. It's nice they put a scale on the side of it, but there's no little pointer or anything like that going across the scale. And it's like, the scale could be over here on the side. It would make more sense to me, but nothing that a Sharpie won't take care of. See how far back we gotta go. This would get rid of some of the back of the heel as well at that point. But we had to go a long ways. I think it was about 110. To me, this is just more control of what I'm doing. So I got
Amen.
nice straight wings. Like I say, I need to put a mark on there so that I can set it the same every time. This way I get nice straight wings, a nice 60-degree cone. The bottom doesn't matter. I mean, if you wanted that to look fancy or whatever, you could move it forward and grind that all pretty, but pretty don't make it cut. I think Mr. Monaco talked about, I think he said that he has a very interesting video out there right now. It's at his club. No, that's supposed to be 60 degrees on the nose, which I think I was a little bit off on that. No, a little bit off on it. But there again, he said about, forget what he was doing. He actually went back over to the grinder, moved the platform up a little bit. He says, this can be 65, 70 degrees if you need to make a tighter curve. And he said, you're going to do everything with one tool. And he also has a swept back grind that he uses just as a bulk removal material, tool. From there, he goes to this. Very small bevel. It's probably not even 1/8 of an inch in length. So the wings are the really challenging ones to actually measure.
Can't see what you're doing.
Well, that's
Thank
because I
you.
don't know what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how I actually, there we go. Like I say, it's a pain to do the wings. So them wings there are pretty much about 40 degrees back. So that makes my 40-40 grind probably about the same. They might be back just a little bit more than the 40 degrees. Like I say, it really doesn't, that's just getting rid of material, it's just giving the place for the chips to go away on that. And then just taking, I will freehand to get rid of the heel and all that stuff. And if it's one of them situations like this little guy here, especially since I want it to be a very, very small bevel on it, I would do the heel. If it needs done, I will do that before I sharpen it. Because I can almost always will go too far. But I just roll them back and forth like that. Do the one side, flip it over. Sort of do the other side. Makes it look kind of pretty in a way. Not that it doesn't, it doesn't matter. What matters is there.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. You grind the heel off first before you do the actual
Well,
sharpening.
This is what you call, you can make enough mistakes. So when you're taking the heel off and you get up there too far,
yeah,
and it's generally, that's why I say I do this side and then I flip it over and do this side, because if you think, oh, well, I did about that far, and you'll come over here and you come up the whole way and now you got to resharpen it anyhow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you don't have to, you're not taking the heel off every time you sharpen it. Anyhow. Even this one with
I'm
this.
gonna take that advice.
What's that? Take the heel off?
Yeah, before I sharpen. Yeah, I like that. Makes sense.
It just saves a little bit of time and aggravation.
Right.
Because inevitably in either way you do it, some people like to just sit them up on there and roll them back and forth.
Right. That's what I do.
That.
Yeah.
I find it a little bit more controlled to do it here. I can see a little bit better mean, I don't want to stick my head in, but I can get right over top of it and I can really see what I'm doing. But you
Yeah.
can't see what you're doing on the bottom side when you roll up. You can also do the same thing on the top side, but it just, the heel needs removed. I take it off ahead of time, usually, if I remember it. But that's it. So yeah, I don't know. With what I found with this, basically the same style as the 40-degree grind in the 60 degrees. I don't know that I'm going to keep using the 40 because it gets to be, to me, it sort of gets to be a pain.
Right.
By virtue of what it won't do for you.
Right.
Now on the outside of a
Limitations on
bowl or something like that, the 40-degree
it. Yeah.
grind is nice, but I can tell you from trying to teach some people that have no clue what they're doing, I've handed a couple of them the 40-degree grind and they don't want to, I'll go back over the lathe. They don't understand simple concepts of where the tool handle is going to go to. So if we were on the outside of the bowl and we were going to use our 60-degree gouge, you know, the tool handle's over there. Do it without a handle. So the handle, if I'm on the bevel right there, the handle's going to be that far over. So now, this is a problem of having two of them that look alike. That's the 40. So now the same thing in the 40-degree is way over there.
Right.
That's without a handle on. So to try and teach somebody that handle has to be over there in no man's land to come around the corner, they kind of look at you like you have two heads or something or other.
Right.
Until you get them to do something that you want them to do. But so yeah, this teaching wise, the traditional 60-degree grind is pretty much what I allow them, what I have them use. I have not, I have not handed one of them any of the traditional scrapers though.
Can you show us your spear point?
My ugly spear point? Sure.
There's nothing ugly about that. It did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Well, yeah, it does. Let me take it out.
I got an ugly one too. I don't even have a handle in mine.
What angle do you have that spear point ground at, Kirk?
60 degrees. I'm lazy. I'm lazy. Does it matter?
It's all about the presentation.
It doesn't.
No, it just looks more acute than mine. That's why I was asking.
It's 60 degrees because that platform right now is sitting on 60 degrees.
And it's easy, right?
It's 60 degrees.
Right.
You know, I'm not changing it. I'm looking for the other ones. I had it. I was going to say I knew I had it out.
Well, if you had Betty's to set up blocks, you could change it quick.
Well, I'm not spending that kind of money for a little piece of, you know what? There again, you people that have the 3D printers, you need to go out there and find them. I'm trying to think who said about that. I think Cindy Droza talked about that a while back, that somebody that she knew was making simple setup blocks and 3D printing them, you know, for pennies.
Yeah, there's a couple people doing it. Yep.
Right. I don't know that these are all ground at 60 degrees. There again, if you watch Richard Raffin, he's talking about grinding them at 45 degrees. And I'm like, it's a traditional scraper. Personally, what I was taught from day one, it really doesn't matter. As long as it's less than 90 degrees, it doesn't really make any difference. Now, there again, the longer that angle would be, the sharper this edge becomes. But now this guy, like I say, this guy here, I have not done anything with it where I lay it flat on the tool rest. Not at all. I have not done that. It also is curved. This is not straight. It's curved on both sides. And so there again, my curve is not exactly what you call professional looking compared to one that would be made by Robust or one of them. But I'm getting there. That's also being ground on an 80 grit CBN wheel.
As
So-
long as it works, it don't matter.
Yeah,
Right.
it's, and he even talks about being able to use it like that, using the bevel and contact and rolling it up to that cutting edge. And I'm like, no, not me. I'm like, you can do that all you want. I know
Yeah,
what
that looks
these,
like a great.
I
looks
know
like a
what
great
these
way to-
things will do when they catch, when you do the wrong thing with them.
Yeah, it'll make a violent catch.
The
Well,
other,
bottom line is do what makes you feel comfortable.
yes, correct. Correct. Now, the other one, and this is the one that Raffin uses all the time, and that Thomas, however you pronounce his name, same one.
Thomas
Once
Love.
again, it's, see if I can read it, 8 by 30 by 200, Amazon. So I think less than $15, I want to say. It is a fair amount of work to make them, mainly because of the tang.
Right.
Because I want it to fit into a 5/8 inch bar. Now I'm a truck driver by trade, so I was talking with one of the trailer mechanics. I said, them cutoff wheels, will they cut that high speed steel easy enough? He said, oh yeah. So the last one I made, which was this guy here, which is thicker yet, because it's 8 mil thick. Laid one of my factory made ones on there, traced around it, took it outside in a little vise and literally cut little slits the whole way down through here, and then come back and cut them off. And then you still spend quite a bit of time at the grinder, because once it gets to this size, then it will heat up pretty quickly. And I keep my fingers back in here somewhere. When my fingers get too hot, then I quit. Lay it on a table saw, or you could lay it on a lathe bed, something steel, suck the heat away from them. And just to get it to fit into, I use the handles with a removable pellet on them. But this one, if you want to play with a scraper, the traditional scraper, this is the one, in my opinion. This is probably the most useful one, at least for me. You can use it flat, no problem, as long as it's at a downward angle. And there again, the downward angle on these, anytime I see anybody, when you tell them a downward angle, there's pretty much flat. They want to go like this. Oh, it's got to be down. You see people using the carbide tools on resin and stuff like that, and they got the tool way up in the air, and I'm like, we don't need that. This doesn't want that. It only wants just a slight downward angle. If you set it on center, flat, raise the tool rest up about 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, that's it. That's all you need.
Hey, Kurt,
Flat.
can you put your tailstock camera on to show the folks this?
You can go both ways.
There we go.
I don't know if that'll show it any better or not.
Oh, it
That
does.
shows yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, well, let me put the handle on. It'll give you a little bit more of an idea.
Because a lot of people struggle with scrapers and understanding exactly what you're talking about now. I appreciate you going into this.
So if it's flat, that's not going to show what we want to show. I don't think I can get this camera actually far enough away. I went the wrong way. So if it's flat and we're on center, which I'm not. So if we went up there a little ways. So that's pretty much, in my eyes, I'm still not quite up high enough. That would be flat, level with the bed. So it wants to be about there. So if we started out level, I took my pencil.
Shift the tailstock camera back in. We're missing the point of the tool to the wood right now.
I don't think, let me see if I can move it in a different angle. The other way.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go. I don't normally have it back that far because I'll hit it with the tool handle. So there we are flat, pretty close to center. And all I really want is about 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch below center, or of height difference. So that means I need to move the tool rest up about that amount. And now on a little bit of a downward angle, Could be just a shade bit more. A tiny little bit of a downward angle, and now it will cut clean across there.
Bob's your
Without
uncle. Not necessarily
Very cool.
Mr. Grinstead.
So what was the size of that tool steel again?
Which
Kurt?
one?
The one you've
Most
got
of
there?
these, this one's 8 by 30 by 200.
Thank you.
That's millimeters.
Right, that's in millimeters. I
What
have
was the
one
other-
that would be a more of a bowl scraper type thing. The only difference making it a bowl scraper, it is 10 by 30. So it's thicker. It'll let you hang over the tool rest a
Right.
whole lot more. I don't use that one that terribly much. I don't necessarily feel that it does a wonderful bang up job. The other thing with this one, I forget what he calls it. Radius. It's got a nice general radius on it. So you only ever make contact with a little bit at a time. Tell you what, let me take this off. I think I have some little pieces of maple here.
The other scraper you had that both sides, beveled in, the pointed one.
Yes.
What size steel was that? Was it the same thing, the 8 by 30 by 200?
Yep, 8 by 30.
Okay.
The 30 millimeters is, you gotta Google that. So,
That's okay.
technically it'd be like inch and 3/16 wide. 8 millimeters is a little less than 3/8.
But that's what
Something
you're
like
gonna
that.
buy on Amazon anyway. It's
Right.
millimeters, not-
Right. You're buying all the millimeter stuff. Let me see if I have one of them.
Links in chat for those who want it.
Tossed in the imperial conversion as well.
Well, like you said, you're gonna go on Amazon to look for it, and you won't find it in imperial sizes.
No.
Right.
And there's a whole bunch of them of stuff on there. Oh, not that one. I don't use the shark jaws that terribly often, so. We'll just do it the extra cheater way. Now this one probably won't fit in there. Shark jaws are kind of neat for certain things.
I love my shark jaws.
The only thing is you can actually make them bow. You put too much pressure on them. If you didn't know that. They will bend a little bit. But they are really good for certain things. And of course they're a little bit bigger than the rest. So first order of business, we'll clean this off. Probably could even maybe like true that up a little bit out there. This is a straight wing tool. That's the 60-degree straight wing. It doesn't, just because it's got a straight wing doesn't mean you can't use that wing just like you might use your 60-degree wing. You just have to keep in mind, I mean, it's only a 1/2-inch tool. That's still probably a 1/2 inch of wing that's exposed. So it's cutting that much at one time. So no, we don't want the bowl scraper. That won't do much for you. So piece of maple, there's actually even a little crack in there. So once again, we're back to our tool rest height. For me, I hold it level. So well, that's too much.
There you go, Dale.
Somewhere in about there. I don't necessarily have a good camera view of any of that. I'll tell you, yeah.
Now your tailstock view is good.
Move it one more time. We're gonna lose the closeness of it. No, that's no better. You want to actually see what it's doing. You'll just have to take, you'll have to take my word for it that the tool handle is slightly pitched down.
Down?
The nose has to be lower than the tail.
Yeah, okay,
Nose,
better.
tail. So as it's
Yeah.
down, it will come right straight across, like lovely little shavings. And this, of course, is end grain to go with it. That will be, should be clean and smooth, except for a crack that's there. The other thing you can do, you can use this on the outside of your bowl, flat. And once again, it's curved, so you never get more than about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch of cutting surface in any given spot on it. But it also has a fairly sharp corner that you can go right in beside the tenant or something along those lines. Get right in there and just literally, you're rolling it back around. Okay. I don't try and go from bottom to top in one swipe. I just find it, here's where you're going to roll it back. Using it flat doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, but the more movement in your body you have, the more likely you are to drop the handle. And if you drop the handle on this, see here it's cutting. As soon as the handle comes down, comes up, and makes it level, it's grabbing a hold of it right there. And it will not release until it gets back to there. So the back, whatever this bevel angle. So if this is ground at 45 degrees, which would be way longer than this, it's going to dig in that far before it hits the back and releases. The first time I tried this, I have a bunch of little pieces of maple that were cutoffs, and I was going along here. I'm like, well, this is easy peasy. And whatever I did, I dropped the handle. I literally pulled the piece out of the jaws, threw it across the room, and it did not break the tenon. But it did it so quick it ain't even funny. Now, the other one is to drop the tool rest back down, and you can use it as their shear scraper. Now it's up on its side. That's why it's curved. My idea of a curve down here, it'll makes it slide. And we're going to use, it's just like your skew. You're going to use the bottom half of the tool and come across in a shear scraping, shear cutting. And that's the shavings that comes off of it. The same way with the spear point. I use this on the outside of a bowl probably quicker than I will use the spear point. But the spear point will let you get into tighter places.
Yeah.
Okay. Multitudes of them
surface.
to make. I have a whole drawer full of them. The other one he talks about using quite a bit is a square end one. I have two different versions of a square ended one. This one is what he considers his square end. That one is 8 by
You're out of
25.
camera view.
I got to read, so
Got it.
that's all. So this one is 8 by 25. So narrower. Once again, they call them straight. It has just a slight curve on it because you do not want to engage 3/4 of an inch. I think that's what they are. Now that's 1 inch wide. So if you engage that whole surface on something, it will be very aggressive.
Yeah, I don't use mine often, but when I need it, it's perfect for the job.
Last year I made a whole bunch of lanterns, and this is where this little guy came into. It's not a radius, it's a sharp point here and curved down to the right. So when I want to go in and clean up that little bit where to get the stupid tea light to fit, this will go right straight in there without any issues at all. It's also ground on the side, which hindsight says now that was a mistake to grind the side because it doesn't need to be ground. The tip is what cuts. But when you hand this to somebody that doesn't know any better, it's now a cutting edge over here they stick it in and they pull it towards them, and they have a really big hole in a really big hurry.
Yeah, if you're doing like a
Things go-
square box or a pencil holder or something like that, you want square sides, that's very useful for that.
Yes.
You want to set your walls for threading. Yep.
Yeah. The only thing with using them, this would probably be easier if it had, let's use this one. It has a burr on it. And there again, a lot of them people talk about, you got to go back, got to go to the grinder and put a new burr on it. Well, watch Richard Raffin. He just grabs his little hone and hones a tiny little burr back up on there, and they cut wonderful. But you can only do that a couple times before that little burr is gone. And unless you're some miracle person.
Or you got a 40-degree diamond card.
Say again?
You're removing. Or if you got a 40-degree diamond card and you're just removing that much of the bevel to raise that burr up each time.
So if we were doing a lidded box or whatever, this is just above, just a little bit of the handle is going underneath it. So I can go into the center point, pick it up. But this one will, because it's ground off on the side, I can use this in here and go straight down the wall. But if that's not ground on the side, the tool rest has to come up higher yet so that we're cutting well above center. And that gives it its relief that it wants to cut. It will also cut straight across the end as well, just like everything else. Very nice, especially on end grain. If you're doing lidded boxes or something like that, make one of these. It just saves you so much time because it cuts very, very cleanly down the walls. Not perfectly clean, but very clean. Any other questions? Comments?
Well, folks, the floor is open. If you have any further questions, comments on what Kirk is showing us here on the scrapers and or the main demonstration project, the floor is open. Let's be respectful of each other and don't step
Can I
on each
show
other.
can I show my scraper? I got a scraper I've had about 30 years. Can I show it?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me bring you up here, Howard. Add you to the demo here. Here we go.
The only thing I say on the scrapers, let's go back overhead. It'll make more sense. Go ahead. I see it. Put it down a little bit further. Put
That's
the
a big
handle
one.
down between, put
Howard,
your
move
handle
scraper
between your
down.
legs and show us.
Oh, you talked to me. I thought you was going to show something else. Oh,
No, go ahead.
Oh,
Put
I made this. I used to do lots of blacksmith and everything, so I made this scraper. It's a leaf out of a truck. I don't know if you can see, but anyway, I straightened it out and I got it tempered. I tempered it and everything.
Yeah.
About 15 years ago, I put a negative rake on it. It used to be just a regular scraper.
Right.
But I got it sharp, and I don't know if you can tell very much about it. I
Oh, yeah,
scraped
you can.
right down this edge here with a slight curve, of course, all the way around here. And boy, this thing, I got a slight burr. All I got to do is hone this up like this. And I got a slight burr on this thing.
Yeah.
And I can go right in there, put my elbow arm here on this for my leverage. I can go in there and come all the way up. And I've done bows, well, a vase type bow up to 12 inches. I can go right on down in there and come right on down. And I got a flat tool rest that I can turn and go on in there. So I can go right on in there.
Plenty of
and
support.
work. And I can clean that thing up no problem at all.
Right.
But this is high carbon steel. It's
And you made that from a leaf spring.
leaf spring, yes. Of course, this is just a water pipe fit in here.
Right.
Yeah.
And, this was the post for front porch post on an old cabin that I tore down, and it's oak. I guess it's white oak. Anyway, I use that for the handle, so I turned that.
Yeah, that works.
Looks good, Howard.
But you don't have to spend any money,
Right.
to get a good scraper. And
right, you can pick up a leaf out of a leaf spring at the junkyard for $10-15, and you can make
less.
7 of those from a leaf spring or less. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think I paid like 75 cents for this, but this was way back in the 90s when I did that. So
yeah,
but I
yeah,
hammered it
inflation.
out, got it hard, heated up and everything on my forge and straightened it out. So, but anyway,
I'm with you.
Pardon?
I said I'm with you. I totally get what you're talking about. I do that stuff too. Yep.
Yeah. But it works great. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, you can find them on the side of the road if you live by any truck stops.
Do what?
Heavy.
You're muffled. We
Someone
can't hear
talking.
you,
We can't hear that. Yeah.
It's
muffled.
Live by a truck stop. You can.
Daniel, we can't hear you. Your microphone is like really muted. You're not muted, but we can't hear you.
I don't know.
also, this is real good for use if somebody comes to your shop and don't like your shop or, say something bad about you. You can walk
straighten them up.
Yeah.
Back upside the heat.
If somebody wants to come and take your wood.
Right.
I like it.
It's a big decision maker thing,
Yeah, it is.
All right. So what else you got there, Kirk?
Well, one thing I was going to say is everybody needs a parting tool for one. Once again, this was more Amazon steel. I don't remember. I can't seem to find the size on these. These are, I'm going to say, are about a 1/2 inch wide, 7/16 wide, and I think they were 6 mil thick. This doesn't have metric on it. No. Something like that. But there were these are only about a 1/4 inch thick. They do have 3/8 ones too. But you bought 4 pieces of this for $20. So like I say, I don't like the ones that our Woodcraft store has. So 2 of them got made into parting tools. I also made 2 little scrapers out of the same thing. These probably, if one of these days when I get so minded, I'll probably cut that one off, cut the tip of that one off, and turn these into parting tools as well. Because when they're that thin, they have too much flex to them. They'll want to chatter. I mean, you can't be more than about, you might get a 1/2 inch, maybe an inch over the tool rest, and they want to chatter. But they make a wonderful parting tool for very inexpensive. I think I drilled a 1/2 inch hole in there, just filled it with epoxy, and super simple. There again, it's economical.
They're easy enough, right?
Economical.
Economies of scale.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Kirk. This is a great demo and a great discussion.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions before we booger off? Anyone else going once, going twice? Well, once again, Kurt.
No, wait,
much
no,
for
no,
an
no.
awesome demo.
Hey, wait a second. It was a very enjoyable evening.
Let me show you one other thing.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
That looks cool.
You
Only
cut it
one
in
dif-
half.
It's
though.
only one difference. It's only
Where's
half.
the other half?
In the trash.
It'll make a good stone.
The other half had like 3 big cracks over here. I filled them. This thing's probably, I'm going to say 8 or 10 years old. was a rough turn. And I don't know what I filled those cracks with, but it wasn't holding. So I turned it and I'm like, I'm just going to cut it in half. So, because there again, I've had different people tell you should do that every once in a while to see whether your thickness and your wall thickness is as consistent as what you think it is.
Right.
So I just cut it in half on a bandsaw and I'm like, well, I see people are making these into like a little catch-all type thing. So I'll stick it fast to a piece of plywood or something like that. That's
You know,
the
wall
plan.
sconce or whatever. Yeah.
I have to go look, see what they're calling them. I know what it looks like, but yeah. So I just got the iridescent paint out. Well, this is black gesso underneath it, and then the iridescent paint, and this has one coat of lacquer over top of that.
It looks
Yeah,
great.
cool.
It's a real pretty
All
pattern.
all water-based stuff. Now, my wife does a better job with the random pattern, but I just go all over the place. But
How did you apply the iridescent paint?
sea sponge.
Sea sponge. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, put just a little. Just use a little piece of card. If my wife was home, she'd get her fancy little
Ooh,
palette,
that looks fancy.
paint palette or thing out. Put a drop of it on there. Take the sea sponge, wet the sea sponge first so that it doesn't dry on contact. Dip it in the paint, go off into a dry area and get some off because this has to go on really, really thin. So if you put it on, if you blob it on and you're blobbing around here and you come back here, this is still white. Blob it again, take some more of the paint away from it because if it's too thick, it just stays white.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That's
Very cool.
pretty. Very pretty.
Psychedelic look.
Yes. All right. Once again, thank you very much, sir.
Yep.
Great
Let's
demo,
see, we got about 10 minutes left, folks. So let's squeeze in a couple gallery items if we have any, Matt. We'll go from
We
there.
do. Todd's first. What you got, Todd?
I have just a few things here at my dad's house.
Let's power through them so we can get as many
Yeah.
people on as we can here.
So first pen I ever made 14 years ago here with a bent clip on it nowadays. The right, it's just not quite straight anymore. Don't know what happened there. But that was I gave every first thing to my mother, and that came here. And then here was an inlaid one with the hands from Kalishaw Woods on a Penn State Majestic that I made for my father, and it's here at the house yet. And here's a little stand that I had made with some Wingay and whatnot wood to hold them. My first little screwdriver, one of those that you buy at Home Depot and you pull it apart and use the hardware, 6-in-1s or whatever, little screwdriver handle thing. First one of those I ever made here at the house, and that's probably 10 years old. And then first peppermill here, piece of cherry, probably 12 years ago, I guess. This one wobbles a little bit because I didn't undercut in here, and so it doesn't lay quite straight. But you learned that lesson a long time ago. So
right.
Just
you could fix that, Todd.
I'm sure I could, right? But I'd rather just leave it and tell people that you get better at certain things over time. And I thought, well, the more lines I put in there, the more mistakes I could cover up. And so so I put a bunch of them in there. Yeah, it's sort of going through some of the stuff in my dad's house and cleaning that stuff up. And a lot of you guys have reached out about my brother, and I really appreciate hearing all of it. His funeral was yesterday, and it's been a rough 12 days. So thank you, everybody.
Our condolences, Todd.
Definitely appreciate it, Dan. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd.
Yeah.
Next up is Brenda.
Oh, hi.
Oh my God, look at that camera.
I am still working on this bowl with circles. I tried to
Very
fill
nice.
these circles with, I got the UV resin out yesterday.
Yeah.
and some mica powder, filled them up, sanded it down, turned it down a little bit, and you can see I had a mess. It came out. There's some of it's empty. And then I hollowed this out a little bit with my scraper. That turned out pretty good, actually.
Now, did it turn out because the UV resin didn't cure all the way because of the color? Yep.
Yep, exactly. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. So,
Hey, Brenda, that's really pretty. Now,
actually, it looked
again,
better before I added color to it. But
again, what cutter did you use to make that cut again?
that was the
Whole saw.
the whole
Was
saw.
was it the whole saw?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, man,
Yep.
yes. Hey,
That was
my
cool.
goodness, that's really pretty. Really pretty.
Yeah. So while
That was
I
a hole
had
saw for
the
ceramic, wasn't it, Brenda?
what's that?
That was a hole saw for ceramics, wasn't
Yes, the ceramic cutter. Yes. Yes. It made a cleaner cut. Yeah. So while I had the resin out, I filled, where's it at? Oh, there it is. My coffee cup. I use this thing every morning, and I made this back in 2021. Well,
Wow.
it needed recovered.
Refurbished?
And yep. And it had this crack in it. Remember a while back? I put
Yeah, I
this
remember.
pink the resin-crete. Well, the resin-crete came out, some of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So
the
can
wood
you see
moved.
that's it's got orange UV resin in it now.
There you
So I
go.
put it back on the lathe and sanded it down a little bit and put a new Parfex finish on it.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks
Looks
much
brand
better
new,
now.
Brenda. Looks brand
Yeah.
new.
Yep. It must have been one of
Makes
the
that
first things I
coffee
made.
makes that coffee taste better in the morning, don't it?
Yeah. I love this thing. I use this thing every morning.
Yeah. I remember
For
you
4
having
years.
that.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's what I got.
All right. Well,
That's all I
thank you,
got.
Brenda. Very nice work.
Yeah.
Next
All
up
right.
and last
Who's
on my
next?
list is Daniel, but he's not there. So
Dan,
we'll try this
where you
one.
at?
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
We'll go here.
We got you, Dan.
Okay. Yeah, I got that laser cutter, and
Turn your volume up. We can't hear you. You're not muted, but we can't hear you.
okay, I got my volume all the way up.
It's the microphone is
yeah.
covered up or something.
But that's what I made with my laser cutter. The first thing.
Hold your phone. Hold your phone a different way because we can't hear you.
All right,
You got your mic covered. That's a little bit better, but just talk louder. You're good.
Yeah, I got that laser cutter, and I had to make a new stand for it. But this was the first thing I made.
And that's from your laser pecker?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty clean.
It looks great.
Clean
It looks
lines.
great. Everybody's
Yeah.
using their damn laser pecker except for me. Y'all
Well,
suck.
maybe you ought to send it to me and I'll use it.
Maybe that's
No,
why we
no,
signed
no.
you up for a demo.
I'm going to be doing a demo probably the end of October for it.
I made that one up.
That works good.
And
I didn't realize the laser pecker made them that big.
Oh yeah.
Practicing. And I'm doing some pictures. I'm going to be doing some. It's a great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got that.
That's some good detail, Dan.
Yeah.
Top one was too hot. But the bottom one was not hot. The middle one was hot. But I think when you do that, you have to take the blank before you turn, sand it a little bit, and then turn the main into it, so you know how it works. with the wood. The color wood is different. Well, here's the
Lost him.
Yeah, something's wrong with your mic, Daniel. We know you're not muted, but we can't hear you. So it'd be great if you could tell us which laser pecker you have and put it in chat so I know which one it is.
It's an LP1. It's a Laser Pecker 1 Professional.
Thank you. LP1 Pro. Okay.
That's the jig I made up.
That's the jig that he made to mount it.
That's
what he uses to hold it on his lathe.
And with this, I can raise this up and down to 8 inches. I can turn it to the sides of a bowl. Something great on that.
Huh.
But the stand that came with it, definitely just fell apart. If you get one, make sure you take your own stand. Always get off.
That's cool, Dan.
That's all I got.
All right.
Thank you, Dan.
Cool.
Hey, Dan, log out and then log back in.
All right.
Maybe that'll fix your mic issue. All right. So with that, it's top of the hour. What a great demo we had tonight, huh, folks?
Heck yeah.
Complain about
Real
that.
good.
Great project. Great project that you can evolve it into other stuff. Talked about a crack in the tenon and why you don't want to have that tenon or why you don't want to have that crack in your tenon, specifically because when you turn around and put that tenon into your chuck and you clamp those chuck jaws down, now that crack is going to encase on itself. And then what's going to happen? Now you're going to have an outer round on the front part of your vessel. And now you're going to have walls that are thicker on one side and not as thin on the other side. So keep that in mind when you got cracks in your tenons. If you do, get rid of them or find a way to actually fill them to where it's not going to compress on itself. Yeah, it was a good evening tonight. We had Captain Eddie on for a while. He's off eating. He was watching in the background. And, for me, hey, I'm back. I'm not 100% yet. I'm probably about 45, but, getting there. And like I said, hopefully at the end of October, I'll do a cool demo on the old Laser Pecker 1 and see what we can do with that, since y'all been badgering me for the last almost 2 months now, it seems like. And then I'm sure it's going to carry on.
Gotta blow the
the more
dust
meetings
off.
that we have with everybody that's using it. So, I appreciate it. And my wife got a really good chuckle out of you guys giving me a hard time about it, because her first reaction was like, yeah, damn it, how come you haven't used that thing yet? So with that, so it's 7 o'clock. We're going to leave the meeting open, for the after hours. The only request that I have for you for the after hours is to turn your camera on, turn your mics on, and participate in the group. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. And with that, here we go. After hours.